Yay, everything looks right. I did it right. Everything's good. Hello, everybody. We swapped over.
Yeah.
Woo! Everybody seemed pretty tired. But it's fine. We're fine. Everything's good. I think everybody's just dreading what's going to happen next, and I don't know why. I scaled the encounter, so it should be fine.
Haha, scale.
Yeah?
Wow, this is our first scaled encounter. Interesting.
No, I scaled it so that it's scalable. So, like, you know...
Everybody knows that snakes are slimy.
It's fine. You're not going to die.
Hey, be careful. Snakes and dragons are not very far off from each other.
Yeah, God hopes the Needhog's sibling doesn't come. So that's not gonna be great.
Needhog versus Nidhogg.
Needhog.
They're both not fun.
No, and it's really weird how they do it together. Anyway, hey guys, it's time. It's Friday. We don't do funny turn, like handoffs on Immortal Odyssey because I can't hand it off to myself.
Mm-mm.
At least not on Twitch. That breaks the TOS.
You're right. Let me see. I feel weird because like I don't have as many windows up and I feel like I'm forgetting something. It's kind of what I feel like right now, but I think I actually do have everything up. It's just...
Do you have the Conca up?
No, because I don't think I need it. But I have it. It's a tab. It's there.
Famous last words.
I probably need it. I have Roll20. I have, like, Roll20 up. Everybody's on Roll20. I have my notes up. The stream is up. And Zoom is up.
You have your
Good.
notes?
You're good.
Yeah, I have my notes. I think I need a Norse name generator, though. Like, Norse
I'm telling you, just name everyone Sven.
name generator. Old Norse name generator. There we go. So I'll have something like that probably up, so that way just in case I need to make more names than I have prepared for.
It's either that or just put Silas in this universe.
There's Silas, Silas, and...
Silas.
And...
Silas. There's a Silas with a Y.
And Solace.
Solus.
Solace.
Solace.
They're all brothers.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. It's Immortal Odyssey. It's Scion 2nd Edition, where our characters are children of the gods, and they are trying to make their way towards godhood. We went through some shit last time, but I don't remember what. Can somebody tell me?
It was like a giant.
That was like towards the back end, but yeah.
Yeah, you
There's a
sounded
lot
like
of 'em.
Satan.
So Johnny,
We flew a tree through the multi-space.
yeah, Johnny had a long conversation with Nutty, and then the tree got hooked and was reclaimed by Vanaheim, and it was...
After I
shit
convinced
scary.
everyone to come with us at a Denny's.
Oh yeah, I don't know why. So that was dooming the whole excursion. Is the fact that we met at a Denny's and not Margaritaville. I mean, like, we'll learn after this, but from now on, only Margaritaville can we do our war room.
We have to get a reserved table just for our
Assuming
war
anyone
room.
makes it out of this.
Don't worry about it. But so Treehouse taken by Vanaheim.
Scorpion got upsetty. Kids started to become translucent. Not great. We climbed all the way down, and then we got shot out by a bunch of Jotun Titan spawn.
Yeah.
We convinced them to take us to their leader, Big Rock Man,
Yes,
Who?
that was his name.
who was kicking about Andromeda's character, trying to convince them why an Aesir spy was sent.
I just wanted to go.
Somewhere.
And then we convinced them that, hey, let go of this person and we'll help you. But you also have to help us by releasing the tree.
And he goes, no. Because what you need to do is you got to infiltrate the droid factory on Geonosis, shut down their production.
You gotta break into Dr. Wily's lab and shut off all the bad robots.
Yeah, we gotta done climb all the way down to the dwarves and steal the thing.
You're not climbing all the way
But-
down.
Oh,
to
that's right. The dwarves are giving us shit so we can go to hell.
Yes,
yeah,
to go to
and then
Helheim
the device is in hell.
in Helheim.
Yes.
That is supposedly being used by some sort of grand forgemaster for the
Big hot
Aesir.
shot.
It's Isaac.
It was made by a forgemaster.
Or Victor, whatever.
Do you want to
Thank
say?
you.
Do you want to say another name from Halo Effect?
Ritter?
What? No, that was all one Castlevania reference.
Oh,
I can't believe we're gonna
okay.
find Silas and then we're gonna meet Ritter and it's gonna be. a
Anyways,
great
that's for
reunion.
later. We climbed down
Yeah.
the tree and we went all the way to the base of the tree and we're like, oh shit, why are there people hanging from the ceiling? Oh shit, there's a giant snake eating the falling.
Oh look,
The
there's a
falling
bunch of little
corpses.
snakes. That's
Oh
bad.
shit, the little snakes look hungry. Run.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Well, yeah. Now we're in a we kind of cut into time then, and we're essentially going through what is it called? An extended trouble.
We are playing things from the flood.
Yeah, they're like little leeches,
The little lampreys.
little lampreys. That's the word. But we're essentially going to go through a sort of like chase sequence, extended trouble kind of scenario to try and navigate your way from the tippy top of this base of the Yggdrasil tree all the way to the bottom so that you can continue descending down. Cool?
Cool.
So, let me read the thing again, maybe to refresh you, because you guys kind of explained it a little bit, but I'll do a little rehash the details of the space. So we can get right into it. Anyway, you make your way into the gnarled roots of the tree, into what seems to be the hollowed-out base of the trunk of Yggdrasil. The cosmos awaits outside, something you wouldn't be able to penetrate in your weak forms. Still, the idea that nothingness or everythingness is out there, just beyond the branches, terrifies you. It makes you feel small. Hanging from the root system above your head is trees within trees, and on those branches hangs the bodies of the dead. Occasionally you see the massive trunk of Nidhogg occasionally bump the branches, and down fall some bodies that falls into its waiting maw. Bits land on the ground below, and in the holes of the tree root system, you can see tinier Titan spawn creatures of Nidhogg that try to go for the scraps. You can tell that they're hungry. So, how are we going to do this? So I've created a sort of like easy way, kind of, where it's a 3-round encounter, if you will. And the goal is to make our way down the 3 rounds with successes along the way. Right now, in order to successfully navigate, so you can make a roll for anything, essentially. You just have to justify why you're using that roll to help you in this situation, right? So obviously some of you guys are going to want to use your higher stats, but you're going to have to justify how you're using it to help you climb down. The first round, we have to have 3 times the number of players as the number of successes.
Okay.
So there is...
Michael, that's basically that's normal mode in Things from the Flood.
Yeah, well, I don't give a fuck.
So if each of you get 3 successes, then you will pass this round just fine.
Hey Andromeda, is your shirt red?
Or is it orange?
What is
It's
orange
like
but diet
it's
red?
it's a ready orange thing. It's yeah,
It's the closest you
Ready.
get.
ready.
It's cadmium red.
Like I don't know what you want from me. My entire wardrobe is black.
So in this situation, you need to get for the
Ah,
so for
Sorry,
the For the first round, you'll need to get 3 successes each in order to be able to successfully make it down, which between the 4 of you, 3 successes each makes for 12 successes altogether. So if some of you miss out, the others can make up for that lack of success. Okay? Any bonuses past the 12 you can use to help you in your future rounds that are going to get increasingly more difficult. So you're at the top of the tree system, the tree root system of this hollowed out base, and you are basically having to go through what would be the the branches that have the dead hanging bodies. You have to basically climb down these gross ass trees. Nidhogg is occasionally bumping against these branches to cause things to fall. So you have that also to contend with as you're kind of navigating your way down.
Okay, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Would you consider this a quote-unquote kind of battle? Because these things are basically attacking us.
They're dead.
They're not attacking you yet.
Yet.
I'm basically just trying to gear up the Herald of Victory for us on this, because it'll turn.
Do I get to use my specialty in culture, underground scene, because we are technically underground?
In the underground.
Culture checks are for you to be able to properly understand the, the nature of the.
Yes, I don't want to fucking offend these corpses.
The corpses
You
cannot
mean the
be
snakes?
offended.
You mean the millions of snakes?
They're like
Writhing on the
way down
floor?
there.
Okay, so we're not.
Yeah, and from your perspective, they look like worms, but probably as you get closer and closer down, you'll realize they're a lot bigger. That's how big of a distance we're talking here.
Oh, okay. I thought like the snakes were like at our feet at this point.
No, you are at the. Hold on.
This is we're at the base of the cosmic mangrove.
So let's say,
and the roots are exploding outwards.
Yeah, so let's say this is the circle, right?
God.
You guys, Nidhogg is around here, kind of snaking
Kinda
around,
vibing.
right? But there are
Snake.
branches that kind of stick
Oh,
all
God.
out like this, and the
It's a yarn ball.
It is a yard. That's what I thought.
and there are just bodies that are hanging off of these branches. So every time Nidhogg hits the tree right here, right?
Okay, so we basically just need to find a way to navigate down the branches at this point.
Yes, and
Before we reach the
basically your
snakes.
first roll or your first round is going to be kind of right here. Right? That's the first round. The second round is in the middle right here.
The third round is in the thing's stomach. I get it.
And the third round is right here on the ground where you have to contend with the little babies.
Okay, cool. Just so you know, Jesse,
Great.
we did get a $15 donation.
Yeah, I giggled at the
Damn
nat.
it.
I giggled at the nat 20 positive reinforcement for the ready orange shirt.
Oh, so Leaf just gets automatic passes.
This is bullshit. It's a
Listen,
guest
I'm
star. Who
missing an
gives a
arm and
shit?
I'm scaling a tree. Like
That was your fucking choice. You're missing an arm. You could add a whole extra body.
not everyone has that choice in life, though, Michael. You know.
So that is
Anyways.
something, that is something to consider, is that Leaf has one arm, so any physical checks that you're going to be making, you're probably going to have some difficulties with those rolls.
Well, why'd you even mention it?
Yeah, just throw this fucking dead weight off.
Wow.
Listen, I have a specialty in perceiving threats. Do you want to throw me off yet?
Yeah, look at
What
all
the
these
fucking
threats.
threat is?
Do you want to perceive the threat maybe and give everybody and use that as your roll, so that way you can get successes?
Threat is everywhere.
I mean, yes, technically the threat is literally all around.
We gotta find
you.
out just how slippery these branches are.
Yeah, we
But
can't just
Leaf
Tarzan our way
use,
down.
you can use that skill to potentially navigate
Where?
or help the rest of the group and subsequently you navigate down this first round.
Exactly.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, what do you want?
A cookie.
A cookie.
I will also say that you can't use the same dice pool twice.
I mean, I feel like
I'm sorry, what?
Can't use the same dice pool twice.
I feel like
What do you
that's
mean
a
by
one-
dice
a
pool? Do
one
you mean
use
like
in
I
the
can't use
situation
might
anyway, so-
twice?
You can't use might and athletics twice. You can use might and
Oh.
something else.
Damn, that's the only thing I'm good at.
It's so that way there's some stress involved.
Damn.
I'm always
I
stressed.
mean, my
like
athletics
what?
is already pretty bad, but
I'm just saying, like, so if you want to use you may think in your brain, okay, I'm going to use my best rolls now to get bonuses, but you might want to save that best roll, that 8 to 10 dice pool roll for the later rounds because it's going to get increasingly more difficult.
okay.
I'm telling you the whole strat for this. I probably shouldn't have, but
That's fair.
Eh.
Do we have any stressful
No,
music
you're
to
so
play?
valid, but I still think I feel like this is a thing. I feel like perceiving a threat is a thing we do at the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Leaf, if you wanna do that first. Is this something you have to roll for?
I mean, yeah, because it's a specialty, so it just
That's not a
adds.
good music.
That sounds like someone died music.
Yeah, I don't have any good music.
Listen,
I'm
I
sorry.
know we're gonna die, but like.
So you got to tell me
Alright,
what your
time
dice
to
pool
pull
is.
up the Nidhogg theme from Final
I
Fantasy.
know, right?
Tell me what your dice pool is, and with your specialty, you will be able to get a +1 enhancement towards your roll.
Maybe composure and survival for perceiving threats.
So you're trying to keep your cool by using composure, and
And
survival.
survive.
I mean, survival is that yes, probably you can. I guess you can justify it as like trying to find the best way to climb down. Which, trails and things of that nature. Because survival is about, like, surviving a long-term situation, not necessarily, like, this short-term situation that is a giant snake could eat us at any moment. But I'll let it pass. Roll.
That's not a short term. The snake is giant.
It's going to become a long-term problem.
This.
It's a problem for future us.
This entire situation is very.
So you just gotta roll it. And, again, like I said, the threshold right now is 12. It's a 12 difficulty.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You get the one enhancement, so you get 3 successes.
Which is what you needed, but that was a lot of dice.
It should have just been 10 then. I did 11.
Okay, so then the last dice would
Be
just
a
not...
fail anyway, and you get the +1 enhancement anyway.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you got 3 successes. See? It's easy. No problems.
We're 1/4 of the way of the first one.
Exactly.
So, I mean...
So you can find basically like the first thought would be to just start climbing down, but some branches maybe are not as sturdy considering how many bodies are hanging off of it still. They might be ready to snap at any moment, and you can identify those branches before the team actually as a whole decides to go through. And you can basically say that branch looks more sturdy. We should go down these branches. Think of it like, in Tarzan from Disney, like there's like these just huge branches that you can just essentially either walk down or climb on and stuff like that. And you're just trying to find the best path to kind of make your way in a downward spiral. And you can identify those, Leaf.
Forgot to put my soap shoes on so I could grind the roots down.
Like
Do not
Tarzan.
let the 50 feral.
Yeah.
Oh, like
on that one
Sonic.
branch.
Well, Tarzan has soap shoes? I never knew.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
They use his callus to make the soap for the shoes.
There's
my
a
God.
lot of us. Ooh, there's a lot of
Bruce.
us. There's the 5 of us. Lee Bow, 50 feral hogs.
Oh, you brought your fucking children down here?
Yeah.
That's endangering.
I don't
Did
think the children
you?
should be
That's
here.
what I'm asking. Like, is there?
I thought the children were left behind with all the
No,
Jotuns.
did you not hear in 2001 we passed No Child Left
I was
Behind?
trying to fucking figure that joke out here.
Yes, that's why it's so difficult. I mean, and that's why we're going to get into increasingly higher levels of difficulty because you do have a very big entourage.
Oh, your children are gonna get eaten, dude.
Granted, there are
They can just respawn. It's fine.
That still might be upsetting for all of us to witness.
It's
I will say that I'm going to save my might and leadership role for later, regarding using Li Bao. So for now, I'm going to use probably my might and my athletics to kind of try to heed what Leaf is saying and try to tread lightly. I mean, I weigh like 95 pounds. It should be easy, right?
I remember that.
I mean, it hopefully shouldn't be that bad.
Shouldn't be that bad. You just need 3 successes.
I don't know what cats are doing. Needs to be an 8, not a 6. Oh,
Yeah.
That's a botch.
that's a botch.
That's a botch. So that gives us 3 points in the momentum pool, I believe.
Woo!
Cool. I failed. Of course, this is the one time I fail at Scion.
Jay slips and dies.
Yeah, right.
All right, we got 3 successes so far. We got 0 out of that one.
Who grabs me and saves me from falling off a fucking bridge?
How would you say that you botched this? Like, why do you think that Jay is botching this?
I feel like Jay botches this because he's probably very concerned about all of these children. And
That's your first mistake. That 3-year-old can climb like a beast.
Yeah, the 3-year-old, the baby with the knife.
The baby has the knife in it.
Prehensile tail.
Has the knife in his mouth, and he's just like crawling like a goddamn spider monkey.
Yeah, like maybe it's like something like Jay being distracted about the children, being like maybe they shouldn't be with us, and then maybe like someone like kind of like falls and he goes to like kind of catches them, but then also loses his own footing at the same time.
You lose your footing.
And then
And,
fall down
and
and
yes,
level.
obviously Li Bao grabs you. He's right
Obviously.
behind you. But he definitely, you can hear the big thunk as he nearly slips himself. And so he's like hugging the branch.
Claws out.
Claw.
Oh, great. Now we're gonna have to get the fucking fire department involved.
Claws.
Hat stuck
like,
in a
it's
tree.
like he's hugging the branch, but then he's hugging the branch around Jay, so Jay's just stuck there.
It's like that scene of The Emperor's New Groove when they go off the waterfall.
He's hugging the branch and he has his one arm out, having grabbed you by like the forearm.
By the scruff of the neck.
By the forearm with nails out, pretty much not wanting to
Ow.
let you go. And he hold like the biceps and the triceps and that trapezium muscle just getting engaged when he's pulling you back up. Just
That's visuals
Looks
for the
fantastic.
audience.
that's the visual for the audience there.
For the audience, yeah.
Muscles are being engaged.
Only for the audience, of course.
Jay looks very bashful and says a very quick sorry.
All right. Who's next down the line?
I'll do it.
What is Kiva going to do?
It's simple enough. It's just a stamina athletics to fucking try to carefully and calmly make my way down the branches.
Yes, stamina is a resolve stat, so it is implying that you're kind of using your, you're being careful about it and trying to take your time. That's what most composure stats usually imply.
Yeah.
Which fits with Kiva.
Yeah. Because I don't want to use my might yet, because I might have to fucking punch something.
We gotta beat through the snakes.
Well, we can use the attributes twice. It's the
True.
skills that we can't use twice.
I still want to use my culture roll in this somehow, but here we go. Oh,
We're not doing so hot, Mr. Stark.
Guys, I don't know if I've ever fucking climbed a tree before. And
Yeah?
No, you fell off of one. That's what your name's Leaf.
I think it's
That's what really happened to his arm. He made up this whole fake fucking story about a conjoined sibling. He just fell off a tree wrong and it tore off.
I would say that the thing is that Leaf is not actually using any physical skills in order to be able to navigate this round, so that's why Leaf hasn't fallen.
They haven't moved.
Oh, I forgot that they already rolled. I thought for some reason I'm like, what is he gonna fucking levitate? What is this?
Leaf used their brain in
Brain
this
They
first
didn't
round.
move.
Like MODOK, yes. Float it down.
So we have one success. It's okay. Don't worry, we have positive interference in the bank. It's fine.
This is great. All right, this is great.
So do you think, Johnny, that you can make Thank you, Marina of One. Thank you for the raid. Do you think that you can make 8 successes?
No.
I mean, we do
Unless
have,
I use the momentum.
we do have points in the momentum pool thanks to the fail.
Yeah, you definitely should use that now.
How many do we have?
You have to use
You're gonna
half.
take 4 if we want them experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
like 7.
4. All right. We're gonna.
What is your dice pool?
Athletics and stamina.
Athletics and stamina. I feel like that's a good one for you.
It's gonna be a
We-
dice pool of 12.
Wow.
Dice pool of 12. That's not too bad.
I mean, look, Michael and I were only rolling 7 and 8 d10s, while y'all are rolling like 12.
1600,
Three.
yeah.
Damn.
3 successes. All right.
Well, I'm good. You guys are.
Man, fuck this game.
I thought that 3 successes was gonna be okay.
I mean, yeah, considering we're getting like 7 successes on let's dupe the mortal into letting us use his car or some horse shit like that.
When have we
But
done
then when
that?
it matters, but I'm just as an example. I'm sure it happened over the last 6 months.
Oh.
All
Eva
right.
says,
6,
gesturing to her,
7.
the picture of her new car.
You're down by. You were down.
No, I brought my car down here. That's why we failed the branch brakes.
You were down by 5 successes. Do you want to use your positive interference now?
Oh, fuck. What kind of fucking
I feel like-
questions?
I feel like it can get worse than this.
I'm
but-
fine.
Oh,
There.
no.
I feel like it can get worse than this. I still got a flying horse, so... bye, Jay.
That's fine.
Yes or no?
Uh,
I'm sure we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Famous last words. Let's go.
All right.
Look,
You-
if I was
I
allowed to
can't.
use my
I
war
can't
boon-
believe it took all those dice to only get 3 successes.
Well, maybe today's not a good day. Who knows?
The cat is licking her ass at me. Mockingly.
That's what
Listen.
cats do.
The dog
um,
has been throwing up for days, so like, don't even.
Oh, yeah.
sometimes Victor sits on me with his tail and his butt facing me, and he's like on my
Raised.
chest.
He
Yeah.
sprays and runs away.
No, he just
God.
lays down on my chest. He's a 14-pound cat. It hurts. Anyway, so you don't quite make it. And yeah, the consequences of this are sort of along the lines of we're losing children.
Oh, respawn.
Are we sure about that anymore? If they're fucking Marty McFly fading back into the future?
It's fine. That's for future Johnny to cry about. This is fine
With
now.
With
For Back to the Future, John.
Even though you have identified perhaps the direction in which you need to go, not every child is ready to kind of climb through. And this is the first time that they're seeing like dead bodies and like, you know, something kind of shitty and terrible, if you will. And so that probably makes it so that it is more difficult to kind of navigate around this situation. Especially for those of you who are using your physical stats, the difficulty comes from having so many people that you have to try and move around and navigate and make sure that they have their exit buddies. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to physically maneuver around these intricate tree branches, and probably the morale just hits a significant low when you lose some of the kids. You hear a squeal as some of the children slip off the muck, the gore that's kind of lingering on the branches, hitting a body along the way. They're still solid enough to be able to affect the bodies that are still hanging off these branches and causing a few to fall down.
And then they also fall into Needhog's mouth.
And instead of falling into Nidhogg's mouth, they fall onto the ground. And you can hear the slither of the snakes kind of going along to take at the massive morsel and the little bit of extra spiritual energy.
It's a bit early to be killing kids, huh, Jesse?
I don't know. They were already dead.
Yeah,
I
they're
already
already-
killed them a
they're
while
already
ago,
dead.
technically.
They've been dead.
I technically killed these children.
It's fine, Johnny. We'll get more.
Hey, kids gotta die.
As long as Hudson don't die, I'm fine here.
It's not your named feral hogs. It's
Exactly. I only
It's
have
the 3-year-old.
I
with
only
the
have
knife.
about 4 feral hogs that are named at this point.
Yeah. So they're more
Because we all know that baby isn't a valid name.
You're right.
Zero reaction.
She didn't hear me.
I'm wondering
Zero
if
reaction.
Andromeda's Bluetooth headset is not working, or is it attached? Did you catch the joke?
Did you catch the baby not being a valid name joke?
No.
Just kidding.
Okay. You somehow managed to climb the rest of the way from the rafters to the trees that hang the dead. The corpses smell and the bodies are mangled already. Some are dressed in dated clothing from many different decades and centuries past. Worshippers through the ages? Punished? You know that their punishment was for the transgressions that they did in life. After all, only murderers and criminals hang from the trees to be eaten by Nidhogg. You see Nidhogg go for another bump on the tree, gnashing his teeth on the roots to get more morsels from the tree. Can you hang on, or will you be another morsel for the great snake's fangs?
Evidently, we can't.
Well, this is
I can't. Okay.
So you're kind of in you're in this second round area right here. Nidhogg
Nice.
hits the tree hard enough that it makes it difficult to hold on. How do you manage?
Okay, so like he is now actively attacking us.
He's actively hitting the trees.
It's not attacking us, he's hitting the
Is
tree.
this considered a battle?
can't be.
Considering where we're at right now, it'll become because this is a
Hold on,
chase
I just have to
mechanic.
make
Like,
I have
this
to
is-
make
this
eye
is-
contact.
This like
with
lasts
them.
for a whole
We're
scene.
fine.
That's why I'm trying to vouch for it. Basically, what it does is that I get to decide who wins this fight, and it could be physical or not, as it says.
Sure.
And then you gain +1 enhancement on all actions. And then I'm passively observing a battle between unrelated parties. I can use that boon for everybody.
Are you ready? I guess.
I can use it next time. I just want to help everybody.
Right now, we'll say yes. Because now I'm feeling very anxious about your rolls. But, we're now at 4 times the number of players.
Oh,
It's fine. If we reach the last one and we all fall, I can at least grab one of you and then we can plummet to the earth and be fine.
And so it's going to be a 16 difficulty for complication.
Oh.
So
So with the 4 complication, it means that we have to get over the 4 to even be considered any successes?
No.
Okay.
4,
complications is just extra bullshit. But if we get over those successes, we can throw the
you can
complications in
buy
the trash.
off the complications with threshold successes.
Mm.
So the you can succeed with just 16, right? But you can purchase. But because of that complication, if you have any extras, you can purchase off the complications so that nothing weird happens despite you succeeding. It's basically we're basically in a situation where if you don't bypass the complication, yes, Nidhogg and his nidlings.
Nibblings.
Is that a good one?
Sure.
Sure.
Or
His hoglets.
yeah, Nidhoglets or something like that. That sounds funnier.
30 to 50 Nidhoglets.
What if they're just like hognose snakes?
Aww.
Aw.
The pugs
Then,
in the
then
snake
they shouldn't
world.
be trying to kill us, right? They'll just pretend to be
Yeah,
dead.
they'll just pretend to be dead. And huff at you.
Anyway, so you don't have to purchase
Snake
off the
dwarves.
complication, right?
Mhm.
But if you do, it'll maintain this stealth situation. Whereas
Stealth situation.
you're stealthing. So who wants to go first?
Can I
Wheeze.
I would like to use manipulation and leadership.
Explain why for you.
Because manipulation, I'm trying to lie to everyone that this is gonna be okay. They're fine. We'll get down there. We'll be good.
It's fine, guys.
Yeah.
So funny.
Also, I have a knack called Inspirational Aura. When you take charge of a group, roll an axial for every success rolled. Reduce the difficulty of all actions taken by the group you command by 1.
So say that one more time, that last part.
Uh,
About
for
lowering
every
the difficulty.
2 successes rolled, reduce the difficulty of all actions taken by the group you command by 1.
So for every 2 successes you get, you lower our difficulty threshold as a group. We'll call
Yes.
it that. So if you get 2 successes, you lower the difficulty threshold from 16 to 15. Get 4 successes, it goes from 16 to 14. Do it. That's a good roll. That's a good roll because then whatever threshold successes you might get, you can pay off the complication.
Oh,
And then if you get 1 success, then you gain +1 enhancement.
I'm not too confident, but
Okay.
that's a 4 because of my inspiration specialty.
So that's 4 successes, which means you've lowered
It's a 5 now
5 successes.
because you get the thing from the war boon.
Okay, so 5 successes, right? That's pretty great. And not only that, but you also lower the difficulty down by 2. So now we're looking at a 14 difficulty for complication. So that's not too bad. You only need 9 more successes to succeed.
Well, I've done my part.
That's a good. That's
You
a
did
good.
your part, Bar.
That's a good
I'm
one.
doing my part.
I'm gonna
Would you like to know more?
use might and leadership now, or maybe presence and leadership, to kind of, I guess, help navigate Lee Bao to kind of maybe take care of the children. Don't worry about him, because I'm sure Jay seeing children fall off a fucking tree to their undeath was probably very triggering for him.
It's very
Triggering
traumatic.
for you?
I know.
Joey's
Yeah,
the
Jay's been
dad.
in this situation before.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Johnny's the dad of this situation. Like,
It's pretty traumatic. So say what the attribute was again.
I'll use presence.
So you're gonna bat your pretty eyelashes and tell him, "Don't worry, I got it."
Yes, and to take care of the children.
Okay.
Flip your hair. The weight of it drags you off the side of the branch.
It's okay. Gerald will just come out
You
of
get
my clothes
stuck.
and drag me down into an early grave. All right.
Dun, dun,
Hopefully
dun,
this does
dun,
it.
dun,
Should
dun,
we use
dun.
more momentum?
Yeah, well, it's the same
Not yet.
scene.
Not yet. Okay.
It's the same scene, so if you're using
Oh,
momentum,
okay,
it's
okay.
solely for the
So that's
per-
4 successes.
4 successes. All right, we got 9 successes right now. We need
5 and then the
5
threshold.
more, and then we have the 4 complication threshold. So we're up to Leaf and Kiva. Who wants to go next? As
I would like to see how we're doing because I may or may not abandon stealth if we're about to fail.
I mean, you got a
Alright.
floating horse. You're
That's exactly why I'm about to probably summon the motherfucker, which is probably going to be very ostentatious.
So Leaf, what would you like to do?
Well, I mean, I got nothing physical wise, so I think I'm just gonna have to, gather up my resolve after watching all those kids fall to their death and just keep climbing down.
Just keep climbing.
Don't look. Just don't look. If you don't look, It's
Because
not
that
happening.
guy.
It's not,
That's
yeah.
literally what Johnny's saying. Just don't look.
Yeah. Good advice,
Jay
Johnny.
keeps
You're right.
looking.
You're right. I'll take that advice. Thank you, Johnny. You're so smart.
Just ignore the children being eaten alive. It's fine.
Rack, I'm looking down.
I hate that. I hate that you just quoted that. Alright. Oh, shit!
All right.
So it's 4 successes.
Ooh.
All right. So, Kiva, all you need to do is
Just need one real one.
one real success to
And if you get 1 real success, then it'll be 2 automatically.
Right.
yes, and
Okay.
and we will be past the difficulty problem, and then after anything after that is buying off the complication.
Okay. So instead of being as careful as she was before, I think it's all about a race to the bottom at this point, because partially in her mind, she's like, if we get down there quick enough, we might be able to like get those snakes off the kids, maybe. Is what's happening in her mind. So instead of a stamina, I'm gonna use a might athletics to just like charge down these
Oh
fucking
yes, power move.
Power
Power
walk
walk.
down the
Yeah.
With your
well,
kick-ass boots.
These boots were made for kicking, not climbing. But that's just what
7
they'll do.
successes.
So there goes the complications.
So the complication is
We just needed to warm up, right?
you just y'all just needed to warm up. So
It serves me right for trying to use stamina.
11 plus 9, that is
20.
20 successes, which, yes, 14.
We would have even bought it off if it wasn't made easier.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you've bought it out completely with 2 threshold successes.
Oh, that means
So
I get
let's
to
go
stun.
save those
The
children.
kids spawn back, right?
A stunt must.
So here is...
How close to the bottom are we?
You're pretty much, at this point, the time that it took you to go through all of that has brought you down essentially to the bottom root system.
Okay.
So snakes.
So
Where the
you're-
snips are.
Yeah, so the best way to describe it is that it is very tightly woven root system.
Okay.
You can see holes that
It's a
can-
root bed, though. that we
Yeah, it's
can
like a
walk
root
on.
bed, and you can see holes where you can climb further down. But it is pretty tightly woven, well enough that the snakes can actually kind of weave in and out of it or slither around on top of it. The nidhoglets, as I'm going to affectionately call them now, they are probably as big as, like, I want to say, like, big ass anacondas. Like, they're not
So they could be
Like from the film?
hognose snakes.
Oh my God.
like an anaconda-sized hog-nosed snake. So they're not small by any means. They are Titan spawn-sized, you know, because they came out
Size
of...
enough to eat a child. Got it.
Yeah, probably eat somebody whole.
Nagini. Kill.
Hey, at least it's not the terrifying King Kong snake leeches.
Oh, yeah. Can I... Because with the 2 threshold successes over the top,
Yes.
can I do ass stunt?
You can do a stunt. I've already showed it to players, I think. So
Yeah, I
you
got
can
it here,
see
too.
that you can do either a complication stunt, which means you're making it complicated for your enemy, right? In this case, it would probably just reduce the complications that you're going to have for this next round, right? You have enhancement stunts, which will essentially make it so that you get the auto successes, right? Based on what you just did. And then the difficulty stunt in this case is to make it more difficult for the enemy. However, in this situation, it would just lower the difficulty threshold. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you can guess what number this next difficulty is going to be.
5.
Several. Yes.
It's 5 times.
Part of me wants to... So here's what I envision wanting to do in my head.
Tell me, spin
yeah.
me a story.
So the kids fucking fall. And as they're falling and tumbling and plinkoing from branch to branch,
That's a great way of describing it, actually.
Kiva takes off in a dead sprint downwards. And I would love it if, there's always that thing where, like, the kids fall, like, down the fucking well or whatever, and you can hear the snakes, but they're not quite there yet. And, like, right as the snake is about to snap, she, like, scoops them up.
Okay.
And hucks them out of the way. I don't know what kind of stunt that would be.
Be badass. That's what it is.
Do you want this stunt to make it so that it is easier to fight these Nidhogglets? Or would
I'll tell you what, I'll do the I'll make the complications lesser. Because I imagine without children screaming that they're being eaten, we can be stealthier.
Sure. The Nidhogglets know that you're here.
Right.
At this point.
The big man over there.
Nidhogg does not know that you're here.
Yes.
And that is the bigger concern.
Exactly.
Because
that man's a full-on Titan, right?
So
there.
assuming that like the complications continue to be like of the stealth variety,
yeah,
I would like to lower the worry for being exposed to big boy.
So now our next round for this extended trouble/chase is going to be a 20 difficulty, 3 complication. As opposed to 2 complication as opposed to a 4 complication.
Gotcha.
You're in the ground at the base of the tree, ready to venture deeper into the core below Midgard and below what most mortals would never venture to. As you reach the ground, you have to tend with Nidhogglets, hungrier for flesh and bone than their father snake, and you seem to be a bit fresher than the morsels that they tend to get. How can you avoid these smaller beings ready to consume you whole?
Cool.
If there are no more snakes, we don't have to avoid them.
So this is your opportunity.
Quick, Jay, flood them.
Quick, kill
Make
them all.
go. I mean, that's what I'm gonna do with fire.
I do have water as a purview now, but I don't have any other boons other than my innate one. I could force the sword to do more than it's supposed to.
You will still have to roll a dice roll to kind of, account for.
What I was going to roll is I was going to roll my might in close combat in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to do, but I also know that it takes an action for me to pull my sword out, but I also know that this is like a weird, like...
This is not typical combat?
Yeah, this isn't typical combat, so I wasn't sure if I had
So, as far as, like, an action to take out, an action to do this, like, you can do it.
Okay.
If you can justify.
If you can justify your actions to... Basically, I want you to tell me what you're doing to justify the roll. Time and actions in a normal sense in a battle situation is not being accounted in this situation.
Mm-hmm. I'll probably use the sword in regards to trying to dealing with these Nidhogglets.
So you're going to use it to sort of make the water do something beyond its capability?
Well, now I have water as a purview.
So
technically I'm not really pushing it outside of its boundaries, outside of the fact that I don't have certain boons.
Yes,
anymore.
You are not. You have water as a purview, which means that you are no longer, when you're doing stuff involving water, you're no longer pushing it beyond its boundaries, right? Because you have control over water now.
Right. So
if you make it do something like have control over a purview that it doesn't have control over.
The only other one that it has influence on, or at least from not the original owner, but the owner after that, is Sky.
So if you were to theoretically try and use it to control the weather,
like do wind or something like that.
Do wind or something like that, then yes,
just blow the snakes away.
You'd be using it beyond its means because you cannot actually do it.
Yeah, I'd try to do that.
So you want to blow them all away.
Yes. That.
I'm going to be punching and kicking snakes as well.
All right, so that'll be easy for both of you guys to do. It's just going to be a standard, your standard choice of an attack roll.
All right. Can I use them? We can't use the momentum, can we?
You can use momentum. It's just you're not
We
going
just
to
won't
get the
XP
credit.
for it.
You're not going to get the XP credit for
We'll be fine.
for using it.
All right.
We
so
could still use the cosmic.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we didn't use it yet.
We haven't used it yet. All right. So that's 6 successes.
Christ.
So
Tap into Susanna O real quick.
So you release your sword as you hit the ground, probably after you finish climbing, and you.
Does that lower the difficulty by 3?
Why?
Because the leader knack that Johnny has, and we're.
Is it for the whole scene?
Yes, I believe it's a scene thing.
Can you read it one more time? And if it says it's for the whole scene?
Let me read.
Let me know as I describe it. Just so you release your sword out of your tattoo. You wield it in a way that is sort of not comfortable, right? Because you're about ready to use it in beyond its means, and you release the avatar winds from it, so much that it almost blows you back. But you have Lee Bao sort of pushing his back against yours to keep you steady as the wind blows and kind of gusts and moves through the roots so much that it forces those anacondas, those hoglets to push away and sort of swirl around Kiva, giving Kiva the room to be able to prepare for some epic dancing, with the wind whipping around her hair and stuff. It's cool. It's cool as shit. I don't know.
It's cool. It's awesome. It's great. Yes. Okay. I don't know if I don't know if I can fight dirty with snakes.
Snakes don't understand the concept of fighting dirty.
I was gonna say, yeah. There's not.
They do not have.
They're already fighting dirty.
They don't have gonads for you to kick.
That's the thing. That's kind of the easiest go-to, honestly, most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not gonna be able to use my specialty, but it is a might close combat.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we just need to warm up, y'all.
6 successes.
Yeah.
Well, y'all want a fire tornado? Snakes don't like smoke, so.
Yes, but I feel like the other snake would be able to see the fire. I mean,
if you guys succeed,
not mechanically, but
if you guys succeed, then you succeed.
I'm afraid of things catching on fire, like the tree.
Fire tornado! Let's go! The tree's fine. It's probably burned several thousand times before.
All these hanging bodies.
I'm fine. So, I want to do funny little might and close combat.
All right. Hit it.
And I would also like to do my funny little Heaven's Fire boon.
Read
that
it.
You gain the ability to attack enemies with fire. Each Scion can choose a unique manifestation of the fire attack. You can make these attacks as simple actions for the scene, rolled with athletics and dexterity. They have aggravated range pushing. So, I was gonna say like that's more of a flavor.
Well, athletics and dexterity would be the roll if you're going to be using that boon.
Right. So I'm not gonna do that apparently.
I mean, you can still flavor it. It's just if you're specifically using that mechanic.
Like that.
You're specifically saying, I'm going to use that mechanic, and it says to use a dice pool roll. That's the dice pool roll that you'll be using.
I can't. I don't trust my dexterity in this moment. It's a 2.
All right. Well, you can still activate the stinger, and you make some fire out of it, come out of it
The stingy.
for some flavor.
It goes foosh.
Foosh.
It goes at 3. Because I'm using my whip, and it's a specialty.
All right, 3. Yes. Don't you have bonus enhancements for creep when you're surrounded?
I do. That is a knack on my weapon.
Yeah. What is that enhancement?
4.
bonus?
It says +1.
So that's a 4.
4.
Trying to help you out here.
Thanks.
All right, so we're at 16. We need 4
Ah.
more.
Did you include the extra one from the Herald of Victory?
Oh, so that's a 5 then. It's a 5 then, correct?
It adds +1 enhancement for mine.
So we got 2 successes on the roll. You get 1 enhancement for being surrounded. What was the other enhancement?
For the Herald of Victory.
Herald of Victory.
So it's 4.
And then the other enhancement that's originally on it is that I'm using a whip.
You get a fucking bonus success for using your weapon?
I am specialized in close combat with my whip.
Oh.
There you go. That's the specialization. So that's 5 successes.
Wait,
so
did I get anything special for using my fucking sword then?
you don't.
I don't think I have any enhancements on that.
You can purchase a specialty.
Oh, that's literally my skill specialty.
Wait,
whip.
if I use a close combat, I get +1 enhancement to all my close combat rolls.
Fuck.
For my sword.
Do you,
Is it in the sword's description?
Yes, it's because I have the melee tag.
all right. Make sure you guys.
Is that what that does?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, then I have another
No,
enhancement.
at
I
that
have an
point,
enhancement for my goddamn boots then.
At that point, you've maxed out. Remember, 3 enhancements is the max.
Okay, well, my boots have the melee tag, so I guess I get the fucking enhancement too.
So that's 7.
Woo!
7. So it's 14 plus 5 is 19. Okay, Leaf.
Me about to tell
You
Jesse
need
about my
one. You
enhancement.
need 1 success to pass the scenario, but there is 2 complications still added to it. So you need at least 3 to buy off the entire.
You need 2 real successes because you get a free enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stamina plus close combat, because Leaf is going to finally get on the ground and take their dagger out despite being tired as fuck, because that's a workout they've never done before. And I have, under my knack, I have a purpose, which is +1 enhancement to defending my ideal, which is defending the weak.
Okay.
In this case, yourself.
Sure. Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, technically, these children are pretty. They're pretty
That
capable.
baby is killing.
Let
all
me
the
put
enemies.
more dice. I gotta put more
That
dots.
poor baby.
That
poor
baby is capable of.
That baby is anything but tender and mild.
It's my favorite character of the Feral Hogs, honestly. To be
Pretty
fair.
good.
Roll your dice, Pool.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 3 successes.
That's 3.
We did it.
That's the bitch.
Well, it's actually 4 because you get the bonus towards defending your ideals. So that's actually 4 successes. You get the 1 threshold success to spend how you like, but in fleeing.
Light the whole tree on fire so the
Please
snakes will
don't.
never hurt anybody again.
It's not how it works.
But
Magical tree, it's fine.
It's magical fire.
it's regular fire. I mean, it's
Where is
magic.
it coming from? Well, where did the lighter fluid come from?
You know, I don't really know. Loki kind of just put a fire into the whip, and like, who knows what actual source of the fire was?
It's
but-
calcifer.
It's calcifer.
Calcifer.
You're gonna open it up and Billy Crystal's gonna be in there.
Oh god.
So you can bank that. Let's just say you bank that success because you're probably gonna need it in this situation. Okay.
Combat, right?
I love combat. No, we're not actually going into regular combat because you've already succeeded the chase. You've made it to the bottom, and you've conveniently opened up a way to get down. You know, since you set the roots on fire.
And then the wind just kind of made it worse.
It just made it worse. Yeah, there's that. And you're...
Let's fall through the ground.
And you've gathered...
I kicked a hole in the floor.
And you've gathered around in a specific area to fight these Nidhoggets to save your fallen children, that you've created a weight that makes it just so easy for the ground to fall out from underneath you.
Of course.
What'd you say?
Would you consider this to be an earthen surface?
No.
I mean,
I feel like I win when I lose.
There is no surface below your feet, my guy.
Darn, I guess I can't use that funny little purview.
Like, there is no ground for which to ground yourself.
This has been a rough day for me and John.
Who am I holding on to? If we plummet to our death, we both won't get hurt.
I don't know
I
who
only
to...
got one arm.
Who wants to grab?
I'd probably grab the person who has one arm that's in your pantheon.
Okay,
Eva's got children under her arms. So.
I'll grab the stranger then, and we're going down like a fucking meteor.
Thank you.
I love Boulder. Down you go.
I am.
And it's sort of like, you know, that roller coaster drop, you know, your heart just is suddenly up here now, and you plummet down. You can see up where little Nidhogglets are kind of falling alongside with you, but that's kind of like neither here nor there. That's like cutscene.
I just scared the cat. I'm so sorry.
That's like
go back to sleep.
There's like what's it face? It's more like for cutscene purposes that you're seeing just leftover Nidhogglets falling down with you, and you can hear probably them crack against the root structure, but it seems like fate is just letting you plummet. And
right.
You've somehow avoided every single root structure that has kind of made your way down until one that seems to each of you kind of hit you right on the head, or, you know, someplace soft.
We fucking die.
Someplace pretty soft. Enough that when you hit the ground, or a ground, and yes, you will hit the ground, Johnny, don't, this is what's gonna happen, okay?
No, I'm saying I won't get injured.
You won't get injured.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. But you did get injured when you hit your head off a tree, because that wasn't the ground. That was just a tree branch that was just, you know. Y'all are hurt.
No.
Yes.
A living pillar says I'm immune to any
Being hurt.
environmental hazards such as the ground giving way and falling to my death.
Is it really?
And it only activates if I have someone within arm's reach to work. So me and that person are fine as long as I'm wrapped around them.
Unless Jesse says that you can't wrap around them.
Counterpoint.
I have
counterpoint.
I have this knack.
Counterpoint. The damage that you are experiencing is not the result of environmental hazards. You caused it. Anyway, that's not
environmental hazard of the floor falling out from underneath us.
Quickest way to
Eva summons her fucking horse and doesn't get hit in the head.
Quickest way to Helheim is to die. No, you hit the ground. God. And and either the effect of just falling as long as you have, reaching terminal velocity and hitting the ground, or hitting something and making your way down that slows your fall so you don't reach terminal velocity as you hit the ground. Either way.
Wait, I have a special purview that says you can't do that to me.
I love Scion, I really do, but, like, you don't. There's a lot of ways where you can.
Can't I just use the wind to, like, avatar my way to, like, a feather fall?
Leaf hits the ground, the rest of us are fine.
Anyway, you hit the ground. And the space that you're in is pitch.
I can see in perfect darkness, even if it's magical.
This is horse shit.
Cool. So you're the only one that gets to see this before you pass out.
Cool.
Jesse hates this fucking game.
Tell me what phasmophobia nonsense I see.
Before you pass out, your eyes sort of flutter as you kind of register that you've hit the ground, right? And you look over and you can see two figures squat in nature kind of walk towards you. And you'll
Those
hear...
are goddamn Grindylows.
It's the goddamn...
The dwarves.
And you'll hear said, looks like we've got a live one here, before you pass out. Well, more like you can vaguely hear some other voices that are kind of there as well, but you're kind of out. Leaf. What? What was that? Okay. Countdown from 100 to 0. 100. 99. 98. She's signing her life away. You just know it. All the papers are squared away. They've asked you to make a living will. You feel like this isn't right. We shouldn't be doing this. 97. 96. 95. Please, can't we just forget this? You don't need to be separated. I mean, we don't need to be separated. 84. 83. 82. If we don't do this, it's over for you and me. 72. 71. 70. We can wait longer. We can always wait a little longer. If we do this, you're going to leave me behind. 69.
Nice.
68.
Nice. Yeah.
67. I knew that was going to happen too. I want to be real with you guys. I knew that was going to happen. Anyway, 69.
You just didn't expect the disappointment to be in your partner.
68. 67. I need to go, Leaf. I'm tired. 56.
72.
55.
71,
54. 53. 52. 51. 50. 49. 40. 46. What number are we at again? Unfortunate. If you don't figure out what number you are at, my child, you'll be lost too, you know. What number are you at?
Oh no, Andromeda's gonna spend the next 20 minutes figuring this out.
Poor unfortunate soul
48.
in pain.
That's a good child.
Thanks.
I know you didn't want to go. Now take my hand.
Okay.
Sorry.
This is the moment where, like, the movie is trying to be secretive about, like, who the voiceover is, but we all know it's Cate Blanchett because we saw the trailer.
Oh man, do we want it to be Cate Blanchett?
Yeah, that's who I fucking imagined in my head.
She's the only one at this
It's
point.
just like how I still can't imagine David Tennant as Loki. And I just imagine Tom Hiddleston.
I mean, they're basically the same person.
No, I mean, I was just imagining David Tennant as Crowley being like
As Loki, yeah.
Loki. Like that's what I was imagining.
It's deeply chaotic.
Wait,
That's the thing.
let me
Crowley
see if
is
I
a
can
lot more
find-
chaotic than Tom Hiddleston's
Wait,
Loki.
I'm gonna see if I can find Tom Hiddleston as a redhead, though.
Yeah, the big thing is that Loki is a redhead, so that's very important.
Woo!
To be fair, most of the Norse are either blonde or redheads, so, you know, because genetics. Anyway.
Genetics.
Um,
Anyway, I'm scared.
Why? That was just a little thing for you. Anyway,
Yeah.
Screen goes from black and starts fading into white, and you see the guy that's sitting on the carriage, and he says, you're awake.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen.
Really?
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't
That's
question
how-
it.
You
but-
wouldn't question it. No, but you are on a kind of cart as a group. Not
Bring out your dead.
not piled on top of each other necessarily, but like sort of
Sort of thrown in a wheelbarrow, carting off to the markets.
Sort of. That's
As Johnny wakes up, he hears, "Hey, you, you're finally awake."
Basically.
I mean,
God.
so and we can say collectively, roll for me some sort of what's it face? We're gonna go with a stamina check of some sort. Let's go with stamina and survival
All of us?
to see who wakes up first.
Oh, I'm not.
Well,
gonna-
I mean, it's 10 fucking dice, so let's
Hey, one success.
have a heart attack and wake up. Like,
Jesus Christ.
With the low amount of death.
All right, Leaf and Johnny will
Makes
be
sense. We didn't really get injured.
Yeah.
the first ones to kind of stir. Kiva next, and Jay, and subsequently probably Li Bao.
He never wakes up.
Who knows what happened to the kids?
The real difficulty is like, yeah, probably like the kids are, well, I guess if that's the first thing that you're looking for, you'll notice that the kids are so spectral that only you can see them.
oh shit.
I see them because I got ghost eyes.
Yeah, basically anybody with the death purview will probably be able to see them just fine, but they are
I know.
beyond. You can see them because they're your followers. Kiva will probably be able to see them because death purview, but they are in an in-between state that no longer mortal beings can register their existence. That's what we call a ticking time clock. Anyway, but
I mean, if we fail, I get all my birthright dots back.
I mean, yeah, technically. So, yes, Leaf and Johnny are the first ones to kind of start stirring, and as you wake up, you will see in front of you. Well, I guess you're kind of probably facing the back, not necessarily who's pulling the cart, but if you adjust just slightly, you will be able to kind of see the tops of two people's heads. Long, braided and kind of in intricate knots and knotting, a nice bronzy copper color on each of them. One slightly shorter than the other, but their statures are squat, kind of shortish, but not like terribly so. Like, interestingly enough, dwarves were never actually written in Norse mythology as actually being short, but they were described in weird ways. So, but we're gonna go with traditional dwarves here in this situation.
Yeah, but
Or the
they're also not
Warcraft
the
dwarves or Thor dwarves.
I was gonna say they're the creepy giant Peter Dinklage dwarf.
I hated that.
That was the worst fucking part of that movie, unfortunately.
I really didn't like that part of the movie. No, they're short. They're like kind of like D&D.
They're World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, D&D, your classic dwarf sized characters.
You're going to their fortress.
And they're
Let's hope we don't go into the deep roads.
and they're kind of gathering you. Well, you say that, but
We are in the deep roads.
Oh
you
shit!
say that, but I was going to explain what you're seeing. They are kind of chatting between themselves in a language that you do not understand.
I speak Dwarvish.
You do not speak Dwarvish.
I took it in
I can
character
speak
creation.
artist purview.
What?
Preview.
That's
The artist.
Yeah, they're drawing pictures and passing them back and forth.
That's okay. Like Jay, yes, can understand any language, or rather, people can understand Jay because Jay can draw and transcend language. That doesn't mean that they can draw something and Jay can necessarily understand it.
Let me double check that.
Or convey that similar language. It's a one-way communication. You can convey your emotions through your art. It's one
It's
way.
fine.
Anyway,
How rude of you to say that dwarves don't have artistry as a
they
preview.
do have art. It's just that their art might be very specific in a way that they might not necessarily understand.
Forge.
That you might not necessarily understand it in the way that artistry boon allows you to. Anyway. Y'all are being really challenging right now and challenging my authority.
I have done no such thing.
I know what I read. But you say the deep roads, and I want to kind of describe Nidvalir to you. The only thing that you can see is the cart and the dwarfs in front of you, because there is a sort of lantern that's kind of like hanging that has a fire that's within it, and that fire is lighting basically a radius around you. Everywhere else around you is pitch darkness, so it looks like you're just walking in a zone that has not loaded yet. You know what I mean?
Auto zone.
Like, it looks like something could
It's got big loading screen vibes.
It looks like something could drop off at any moment, and you wouldn't be able to tell.
Like a giant spider.
You can hear the rocks being crunched as the wheels of this cart is moving, as the feet of the dwarves are kind of crunching and kicking rocks aside. Which, by the way, there is one male and one female voice.
Does she have a beard?
I wanted to
That's
say,
the rule.
I mean, I say yes, but
Yeah.
I say yes. And as they progress on, you can start to see little tiny flickers of light in the distance if you really turn to kind of look. And by this point, Jay, you're probably waking up. Kiva, you've already woken up too, to kind of see. And you might say something in a second, which is fine. But in the distance, there are little blips of light similar to this fire, which I want to describe as, not quite orange. It's kind of like a hot pinkish orange. It's not a naturally occurring color that you would see in fire, unless there was some sort of alchemical wizardry going on here in the situation.
Like Promare?
Kind of Promare-ish, maybe. Yeah, it's like a strangely alchemically colored fire, not natural in your realm, being Midgard, right? Being Earth.
Midgard's lame.
Yeah, well, we're in a different realm, so physics is different here. Things are different here, and I'm trying to convey that through their fire.
We have cool fire, yeah.
They have cool fire. And it seems like this cool fire is penetrating the darkness that is around them. As you get closer, those flickers of light, they sort of make the radius of the light sort of clears it up, that you can see essentially a city that has been carved into the rock and the branches that are underneath the Yggdrasil tree. So we are theoretically underground in this situation, and the tree root system is, sort of intricately woven through the city, and the city is carved out of rock on the inside, made of sort of like a dark black void stone, it's like a dark charcoaly kind of colored. as far as the ground is concerned. There's no brown, there's no richness to the color. It's sort of like all the color has been kind of sucked out. And makes sense considering how far we are down. I don't have, if you go onto the Conca, you can see Yggdrasil, I believe. You should be able to. I think it's like on the 3rd page, but if you click on it, you'll see kind of like an illustrative map of what Yggdrasil looks like. And while it shows Vanaheim, Jotunheim, Niflheim, Hell, and Svartalfheim, which is basically this place, it's kind of like on equal footing. It's not quite like that. Hell is definitely at the very bottom. Niflheim is above that. Jotunheim is above that, and then Svartalfheim, which is the Sea of the Dwarves, is kind of above that. So you're kind of like 3 notches away from the very bottom. Either way, that's kind of like a nice little visual that I love. I love this little illustration.
We basically just went straight across the branches from Vanaheim to Svartalfheim.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that the illustration shows they're kind of all equal, but some are much lower than others as far as the branches are concerned, because Hell is considered the very bottom.
Gotcha.
So if you're talking like 9 levels of Hell, Hell is the bottom level.
Okay, so Hell is below Niflheim.
Yeah, Hell is below Niflheim, Niflheim is below Jotunheim, and Jotunheim is below Svartalfheim.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Cool. So that's why it's starting to look dark and weird and gross, because you are kind of getting down into the
into the dirt.
You're in the dirt, and you're also like you're kind of away from Asgard's light in a different level, you know, like Asgard and all the things that are kind of above are bright, beautiful, green, you know, and stuff like that. This is kind of dead, gross, and kind of chilly. Chilly Willy. So also, if you go into the locations for a Nidvellir, which is essentially where you're at, if you click on that, that also has a picture of kind of like the look that I'm talking about here. Which is pretty cool. Kind of looks like it looks fucking sick.
It looks like the fucking Underdark.
Yeah, I mean, it is the Underdark. Like, basically, every situation that we're going to go in is, like, varying levels of Underdark, I feel.
It's kind of fun because I literally was just Googling all this stuff as you were explaining it, and I always used to think that Svartalfheim and Nidvellir were 2 different things.
No, they're the same place.
They're the same fucking place. This is where the dwarves and the dark elves live.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is the Underdark.
So it's
Oh my
there.
god, we're gonna see Noelle.
It's the same place. The book specifically, Scion specifically, says that it is for the dwarves specifically.
Makes sense.
So yes and no, but there you go. It is essentially the Underdark. Donate to bring Noelle. You want that to be your positive reinforcement?
Give me a really shitty tour guide.
It'll be a deeply distracting measure, I'm sure.
Anyway, so that is what you kind of see as these 2 dwarves are taking you into this city on this realm. I mean, it is a world. Like, the realm is a world, so like this is just a small part of the vast world that is this world.
Yeah, they just found us in the middle of a cave, dead. But once Johnny starts to wake up and like searches around for the kids, and I'm assuming that
The kids,
they're just like walking behind because
they're walking behind, and they're kind of anxiously watching, but because they cannot interact right now, they're just kind of like hoping that you're not dead, you know?
Yeah, so I was gonna perk his head up and like stare at the kids and like give them like a "don't worry" whisper.
Fucking hell.
Trying to be quiet.
Yes.
Okay. Subterfuge, please.
All right. Cool. We're
Unless, like I said, everybody's kind of awake. The big thing for you, Jay, that is different from everybody else. See, everybody else does not have darkness.
Yeah.
So they need this light in order to be able to see. You do not.
Sure.
So you can see the details that is hidden beyond the light.
Can I use cunning because I know that we're getting carted off by some strangers?
Sure.
Cool.
They're taking us to a secondary location.
No,
Right?
No, not a secondary location. Was that 2 successes your roll?
Yes.
Leaf?
I mean, I have unobtrusive visitor, but I don't know if it would work in this scenario since they picked us up and they're carting us all off.
You're not exactly visiting in any situation.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay.
Where was unobtrusive visitor when you're getting your ass handed to you by a stone giant?
It was for plot reasons. It had to happen.
It had to happen.
Don't
That's
worry,
sort of
I'm
like-
just walking through.
Like how that cutscene had to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't like it. God.
we had to fast travel.
This is not gonna go well. This is just... Yep.
Okay.
Funny.
The 2 dwarves...
Time to play dead again.
The 2 dwarves stop talking. And there's this kind of whispered hushing that you could only assume if they were speaking some sort of common language would be, did you hear that? No. Right? And you can see both of them kind of look over their shoulder to kind of look at the cart. Johnny's still playing dead. Leaf, are you? Or are you just straight up sitting up?
I mean, she probably sat up, yeah.
Like Johnny just ragdolled as soon as like
Johnny was only ragdoll, but I did not. I was
Ragdoll physics, like they still see Johnny like half collapse.
Like, Johnny collapses even more dramatically across everybody else. Like,
And he starts clipping through the cart as it's moving.
So it is Skyrim. Oh my god.
we are in Skyrim. Have fun. And for those of you who are still trying to like maybe ease yourself into kind of getting your gaining your bearings
Into consciousness.
yeah, you're gonna feel it now because both dwarves drop their side of this carriage thing. There's no horse or anything like that that's carrying.
Oh, fuck, they were carrying it. They
Yeah.
were like, oh, god damn it.
They were carting it themselves.
Bunk.
And thunk, you guys are jostled.
Oh,
fucking hell!
I don't think we're there yet.
And one of the dwarves, which is the male one, sort of loops around and taps at the cart to sort of like see if that wakes you guys up even more before coming around and sort of looking at you guys almost a little too excitedly.
Hello?
I feel like Jay kind of does like a quick like look around, being like, "Whoa, where the fuck are we?" Because he can actually see.
Yeah, no, it's fucking wild.
Glowy dragon eyes.
Yeah, imagine like when you look at Jay at a certain angle, he has like the weird like reflection to the eyes.
Yeah.
We actually see Gerald like there's a second reflection.
What happened? Where are we?
Well, we're underground. Like super underground.
Johnny is gonna like carefully like get up and then shuffle off towards the emptiness that is that some people see, but he's going over to his kids.
If they're in the darkness, you can't see them. But if they are near the light, you can. So, just keeping that in mind.
Yes.
When you get up and start moving towards seemingly nothing, at least seemingly nothing from the perspective of those of us who do not have the death purview and these two dwarfs, the girl is sort of looks a little bit perplexed, and sort of watching you move, whereas the male one says, "Awake. You're awake."
Yeah, we are. Thank you for finding us. I saw you guys before I passed out.
There's a pause as he's sort of like listening to you guys talk, and says, "Me and my sister were gathering materials."
Well,
And you just fell.
yeah.
Jay will kind of like, rub his head briefly as he kind of like sits up straight. Now, we were told that weren't there two fucking dudes like bringing us here?
They took
No, they
you
brought
to
us
the
to the
tree.
fucking hole.
Oh, okay.
They took you to the hole in the tree.
They took us to the hole in the tree.
And
And they're like, good fucking luck.
But they did say go to the dwarves. They will help.
They said that the dwarves would be able to help you, to provide you with equipment that can help you survive the path to hell.
Yeah, we're going to Helheim. We heard that you guys had supplies and stuff.
Well, you're not dead, so I don't know why you're trying to get over there.
Well, there's
We're looking for someone.
yeah.
And then Johnny will turn back to the ghosts.
Yeah, it looks
And be
like, it looks like you're looking into the darkness.
No, it's fine. These are my lost boys. Gestures to nothing.
Vlad.
We're trying to go get our home back, and the Titan spawn up there in Vanaheim don't want to give us back our tree. So we have to come and do this.
We heard that there was an Aesir god in Helheim that was making automatons. And we have to get a device that they have.
In hell.
Yeah.
Well, you look a bit limp noodle to go to hell.
Well, you've
You don't even have an arm.
well, I can't help that.
It's in hell.
Not wrong. Technically not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you are doing better. We can take you into our home.
Yeah, we can barter for supplies and stuff like that.
If I do a quick compass check, where is it pointing?
If you look down at your compass, you will see that it is pointing towards these two dwarfs.
That's all I need.
That compass doesn't talk about stranger danger.
No, it doesn't. But she'll like elbow Jay. And,
No.
nod to the
Again,
compass.
it is pointing towards the next thing. It's your waypoint. It's pointing to
The next breadcrumb.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pointing to the people who
The
can
quest
help you.
objective.
The next turn in the road, it's
The people who can help you get
directions.
to where you need to
Yeah.
go next.
Yeah, so she'll like elbow
Objective.
Jay and like nod down to the compass.
Yeah. And he'll kind of go over and he'll try to like go over to Johnny, and he doesn't see the children, obviously, but he'll just be like, "Are you okay enough to go along with us? Are they gonna keep... I don't see them."
They're right there. That's funny. Right, kids.
What are you talking about, Jay? They're still. I just scooped them up at the bottom of the tree.
I can't see them at all anymore.
Hudson.
That's funny, Jay. We should probably stop joking about that.
I'm not.
Hudson will look at you, Johnny, with a bit of concern before saying, "I don't think anybody can see us."
I know. Jay, for the sake of the younger ones, can you not joke about that, please?
Oh.
I would very appreciate that. They've been through enough today.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
He just kind of takes a step back away from there and kind of goes back over. He was mostly going there just to talk to Johnny, honestly, but if the situation is going to kind of unfold like that, he's just going to kind of like, step back away from that.
The two dwarfs will sort of look at you guys sort of curiously before gesturing towards the cart, and the girl will say, "Well, if you need to rest on the cart, we can drag you. It's not a big deal. We're pretty strong."
That's very kind of you. What are your names?
My name's Dognuth. You can call me Doug. And this is my sister, Orbella.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you.
We're the Smeltfoots.
Thanks.
Thing they say just gets funnier.
Yeah, we're the Smeltfoots.
Yep.
Pleasure to meet you.
So you came from...
Midgard.
Midgard, by way of Vanaheim, by way of the roots.
And you're trying to get down there.
Yes.
And you'll see Dog. Yes, dog as in D-O-G, but he doesn't know what a real dog is, so...
No, I love it.
He will sort of kind of go around and sort of pat his sister on the shoulder. Huh? Maybe? I don't know about that. Let's get them to the city so they can get themselves better. And they will take you, basically, the rest of the way to their home of Durber. These are just names. Don't worry. They're just dwarf names.
Okay.
Lots of dwarfy names.
Along the way, Johnny is gonna try to calm his kids down, as much as he could.
You can roll a leadership check.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do a manipulation leadership again and lie to them?
Yeah, that's what's he's feeling. Because he's definitely unsure if it's actually okay, considering they're invisible and kind of spectral in his sight.
They're more ghostly now, yes, for sure.
So that's going to be... Cool. It's okay.
I would say that all things considered, they're probably super stressed out, and they probably just need a moment to relax, because this has been a lot of go, go, go for a bit.
Yeah.
But you can kind of chill them out just enough to kind of keep the mutterings at bay, or the
spectral mutterings.
the
Yes.
spectral mutterings that are now in the back of your ear, which, you know, Kiva, you can kind of acknowledge too, in a certain sense. You can hear it. So yeah, there you go. But you are heading out. You're heading towards the land, the city of Durbar, which is, as you get closer and closer, like I said, looks like essentially a city carved out of the rock, with these spectral lights that are keeping everything kind of well lit, enough that, you know, outside of that, the city is pitch darkness, but at least you can navigate yourself around this space a little bit easier. As you venture inward, you'll see more of the citizens of this town, which are all dwarfs of varying looks, but they do feel very classic in a sense that they have the long beards, regardless of whether or not they are male or female, short, stocky, and they are craftsmen of a lot of different sorts. But, you know, it's a functioning city. You have your merchants, you have your craftsmen, you have a lot of different things. These dwarves are Titan spawn, yes.
Do we have a potion seller?
Potion seller. You probably could find a potion seller, but you have the means in which you can find or even explore the area to, you know, get what you need to do, and maybe even gain some insight about the situation here, or what is awaiting you when you go down towards Helheim. So, but you could also ask Dog or Bella for any questions too, because it seems like as they kind of venture off, they are kind of leading you through the town, right? But essentially taking you to what would essentially be their studio.
Yeah.
Which is a forgery of a classic sense. We're talking like a classic blacksmithy kind of situation. With all of the ovens and the metals and the tools and something that's covered in a giant tarp. And you can see them kind of unpacking the stuff that was in the carriage that you guys were on top of, going with you, you know, kind of put away. Dog seems to be more excited about asking you, what's it like up there? You know, like, what happens in Midgard? Is it true that they don't have a ceiling?
It's called the atmosphere, actually. It's kind of like a ceiling. And then it goes into space.
It's a clear ceiling.
What's space?
The distance between two things.
I mean, I know what space is here.
That's what it is up there, but in the sky.
What's a sky?
Like the air that we're breathing, but bigger.
We'll find a stone ceiling.
I will fucking draw him a perfect illustration that explains what
a sky is.
But where's the top?
So like a corner sun and then a stick figures on a grass
Well,
field.
then when you get to the edge of the paper, he's like, so that's the top. Like, that's...
So it's kind of like a cube.
I just make a flat earther out of him.
I mean, to be fair, again, with your artistry, Boom, which I don't know if any of you guys know what it is, but the artistry innate purview, right? It is the innate purview.
It is the innate purview. You can express yourself through artistic performance to communicate with those who experience it as though you were speaking to them, even if they don't share the language. You can also bypass complications that would apply to roles made through ordinary conversation.
So essentially, we can play charades with pictures, and Jay can explain himself perfectly through art, so that if there's any translation errors in explaining the concepts, any difficulties that would come from, or complications that would come from translation issues, is negated completely. So in this situation, Jay is able to kind of explain away what the concept of a sky is, which inspires Dog to know
Oh god, we just made Icarus.
It's like, so how do you get?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Is this man secretly dataless? Oh no.
I mean, I guess the first thing would be to go up the roots, but I mean, there's gotta be other ways to...
Oh, we're not allowed to go up there. Dog's just being really fantastical about it.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah.
And dwarves aren't allowed to leave Nidvaler.
Says who?
Says the Allfather.
Shouldn't there be some in Midgard? And Johnny will like look back to his kids for confirmation, if any.
Oh, well, there probably are, but they're not supposed to.
Is there any reason why?
Oh, well, it's just all about the myths and the lores, Allfather thinks we're pests. And it's not our fault. They probably have very bad architecture up there. Probably will fall. Can't help it if we need to fix it. Sometimes you just gotta fix. I mean, I don't like fixing, or Bella likes fixing. I like making things.
What, you're just kept here to serve when they need something made?
I mean, sometimes they come down. But most of the time we're left alone.
Do you like it here?
I love it here. This is where I was born.
I think he kind of gives like a careful look to Kiva.
If you want more specifics on the lore of dwarfs, you can roll a sort of culture check, if you will. Academics would also count.
This is where I could use my underground scene special.
Can I use occult?
Oof, only one.
Occult will work too.
This would be like an intellect culture.
Yeah. I mean, however you manifest the information from your brain is sort of like...
Right.
Is however you manifest it. It is understood that the reason why...
That's 3, because I have knowledge of the realms.
Yeah. It is understood that the reason why they are considered pests is because they spawn from maggots, which fed from the corpse of Ymir, who was a titan that was slain by the Asgardians. So the narrative...
I'm a big fan.
The narrative is that Asgardians killed Ymir, which was a great titan of fire. He was torn apart, and the maggots that came to eat him, the leftover bits, became dwarfs.
Huh.
Even assuming that bullshit story propaganda piece is true, they don't still fucking come from maggots.
No.
So, this is some Adam and Eve horse shit that ain't never even happened.
I mean, the whole thing about Scion is that every myth is real to some capacity.
To some extent, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Some
Maybe
capacity, or that might not be the true story, and there's some
Yeah.
there's
I'll say
some
something.
PR.
We know that this pantheon sucks.
There's some PR that may or may not.
I mean, we used to say shit in World War II that like the Germans eat babies, and people believed it. So,
Wait, the Germans don't eat babies?
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you had to find out like this.
So it is very much ishy on that in that front. Like you have a healthy skepticism, I guess, as a group, right? Like you as a group have a healthy skepticism, and maybe you could ask the twins if that is something that.
They're twins.
Yeah, I forgot to mention they're twins. It's kind of hard.
Which one's the Arnold Schwarzenegger one?
They're fraternal twins, so like they don't look alike because they're fraternal, but They are
The
twins.
one's a
Yes.
They're both their own people. You know, they both have 2 sets of legs.
They both have
I have
similar
a set of
organs.
legs.
Yeah, one of them
I
was borrowed.
I
They
have
have
2
separate organs.
functioning legs. I have my own organs.
You stole them.
No.
Who knows? The narrative is so weird in this game.
No.
I think, like, yeah, Jay
Who,
will kind
who
of...
wants to ask?
Jay will ask, like, you know,
Is that true?
like if they still kind of believe that, or if they have an alternative story, kind of like just to try to get like to fill the air, essentially to kind of have a better understanding.
Sure.
As we're walking into.
What is the air?
He knows what air is. Whoopsie.
No, I know. Nah, yeah.
Kind of like move things along.
You can have like casual conversation. Like, really though? Like, is that really the truth? And
Let's have a dwarven uprising with our other one.
And Dog will laugh and he says, "Ha, I only say that I came from my mother's. You know what?
Maggot farm."
And he laughs as if it's a funny joke, but it's really just kind of crude. And Orbella sort of rolls.
Goes over Johnny's head.
And
Scorpion.
Orbella sort of rolls her eyes and says, "That's the narrative. Still, it must be nice to be up there."
I mean, maybe in the future, you know, there could be options for you guys to travel. That would be nice. That way you'd have the option to vacation with a place with a sky, and then you could come home.
Yeah, and things are always changing, so you can have that opportunity.
Dog will sort of give Orbella a big like elbow onto the tit, and sort of gives like that kind of look, and Orbella will sort of roll her eyes and say, "That is something that we would love to do, truly."
Okay. Maybe that's something that we could work with. And his eyes will go over to Johnny to kind of explain the Neverland.
He'll explain it, with a small frown.
Because he's worried that Neverland might not, you know.
Yeah. He's worried about that still. But he'll pretty much say what it does, how he can stop by down here freely to pick them up if they want.
Okay.
In gratitude for peeling us up from the floor.
That's the thing. Like, we have
I'm
nothing
scraping-
to fucking barter. The least we can do is fucking take them on vacation.
Yeah.
Let's take them to Margaritaville. I'm sure they'd love it.
Dog will sort of like put his hands together and say, "Okay. What if, let's say, sort of, kind of, maybe, instead of just a visit, it would be more of a permanent situation."
Staycation.
Yeah, we can find you somewhere to stay.
I mean, if you want to go to Hawaii, I can probably find a place for you there.
Or Ireland. It's a lovely place.
Or I can just drop you off wherever. Like, point the finger on the map and we can just go.
Or the middle of the road.
We'll take you to Roswell.
Yeah.
I'll take you as far as I-95.
Wait, I-95 goes anywhere on the East Coast.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Oops.
What exactly will happen if the Allfather finds out?
Oh,
Well-
the Allfather won't find out if 2 dwarves go missing.
I mean, I could probably ask my dad and mom. That would be okay.
Or they wouldn't mind if 2 dwarves went missing.
there are plenty of Titan spawn up there as well.
I'm sorry, did you say Dad, Mom?
Yes.
Forgive me.
There's only one of those in the entirety of the Pantheon.
I was under the impression that biology for humans in Midgard was,
Oh, no, I'm a scorpion, and
What's
Loki.
a scorpion?
The scorpion's this, and Jay kind of quickly draws, and
The whip is his tail.
Loki made me look like this.
Oh, that's so.
Loki. God of deception.
Yeah.
Minister of mischief.
Captain of Chaos?
God of fire and flames.
The first villain in the Avengers films.
The person who boxed me as a giant flaming Titan person, and then we had a dance battle. So I think I had a good experience.
So you're a Scion.
We all are.
Yeah.
Godchildren.
Not me.
It's a bit odd for most of us.
All of you. Godchildren.
Jay's just like draws picture of dragon.
That looks like Nidhogg.
No, not Nihug. Different dragon.
Nidhoggling.
I don't
Gestures to the drawing again. This one's from Midgard.
Yeah.
Different
I
dragon.
didn't know Midgard had their own Nidhoggs.
There's a lot, actually.
Most of them have legs.
Orbella is just going to shake her head and she says, I don't know if anybody's going to want to help you.
Well, we're not necessarily like our godparents. We want to help other Titan spawn.
Mm-hmm.
It's a barrier we've come up against, and I'd imagine it's a barrier that most of the people that we interact with have come up against as well.
Just tell me to roll epic charisma, Jesse.
Roll your charisma! Can you convince the twins, the Smeltfoot twins, to help you out?
And twins.
Twins.
Twins. All right. I'm gonna do benefit of the doubt. Can smooth out wrinkles that arise in any social interaction. Gain +2 enhancement on attempts to convince others that you are trustworthy and friendly.
Do it.
All right, Jay. What are you gonna roll? Presence and persuasion. Would Hype Man apply in terms of like hyping us as a collective, as a group?
Is it
Being
going to
like,
max you out on?
We're trustworthy.
Sure.
Okay. So.
We're trustworthy.
Oof. Alright, that still gives me +2 enhancement. So that's 3 successes.
That was horrible.
That was really
oh my
horrible.
God.
That was a really bad roll. 10 dice, 1 success. Jesus.
Yeah.
Julian, you should be fucking ashamed.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Luckily for you, Dog wants nothing more than to leave this place. So, if trusting a few of you guys means escape, sounds like a good idea. Orbella seems a little bit more hesitant, but isn't willing to. This is like kind of what you're getting. Like Orbella is hesitant, but isn't willing to kind of leave Dog behind.
Mm-hmm.
No dog left behind.
No dog left behind.
Sorry.
And so in that regard, you can essentially, through your talking and your conversation as a group, sort of convince them that maybe you guys are not going to kill them all. Which, to be fair, even when Asgard show up in this realm, they're not there to kill somebody. They're usually there to get something from them. But in this situation, they're getting something back, theoretically.
Right. Okay.
So you want to go to Helheim?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ideally, we'd like to make it back.
That's a little more difficult. All things considered, it is a treacherous journey.
Yeah.
What do you suggest that we would need to get to where we need to go and maybe get back?
Well, if we talk to some of the elders, they might be able to tell us how to get there as fast as possible. But once we're down there, still very, very difficult.
I might have that covered, maybe.
What do you mean?
Maybe. I can probably figure out where we're going. Probably.
How? It's completely dark. Not to mention, very cold.
I don't like the cold, but I can actually see perfectly for some reason.
I'll be fine in the cold. It's really dark here.
Yes,
compass.
we're sort of away from the underground. And these Fey fires are what we use to keep light.
What to do? Well, compass will probably show the way. Probably.
Do we?
Do we?
No.
Dog
Like
will.
No,
is
not
it
again.
around your neck, right?
Yeah.
Dog will reach forward and pull on it, and subsequently pull you down, just so that he can get a better look at it.
You kind of topple over because you don't have like proper balance.
Yeah.
Your
I
weight's
have-
off.
No, I don't have fine balance. I'm 5'4". I'm already probably.
Yeah, but you're missing
God,
an
we're the
arm, so
same
you don't have
height.
like the equal balance.
He will observe it and sort of say, "Fine relic. I've made some myself."
Relics or compass?
Relics. I am the maker, or Bella's the fixer. We make things to make our lives better. And Bella will say, and we've made some things that could theoretically help us get out of here. We weren't planning on using it yet, though.
Like what?
Dog looks even more fucking excited if it's at all possible.
It's because underneath his tarp is the motorcycle he's been fixing up.
It's better than that.
Oh my god.
Right, the Ghost Rider motorcycle, is that it?
It is. He will sort of grab the tarp and pull it aside in a big flourish, and it's kind of like revealing a DeLorean, except it's not a DeLorean. It's a dwarven tank
Hell yeah!
with sort of like the tracks, like the tank tracks treads that are.
This man casually built a tank in his house.
It's a dwarf tank.
A dwank.
And it is made of, sort of patchwork metals, but mostly kind of coppers and steels and stuff like that. It's like, basically it's a salvage tank that's welded together.
Okay.
And he sorts of pats it very happily and says, "This baby was going to climb Yggdrasil."
Wow.
I bet it probably could. I mean, it looks really nice.
Sturdiest thing you'll ever see. Could probably survive one bite.
From Nidhogg.
No, the Nidhogglets.
Oh.
What about 2 bites?
Well, I haven't had a chance to really test it. It's all theoretical.
Right. It might have to be a little sturdier if you can only do 1 bite.
It's very warm, though. Very cozy.
Helpful.
Hopefully we won't be running into any more serpents in hell. But it might be enough to get us across the landscape. And then, God willing, we can make our way back a little bit easier than we made it down.
Orbella will sort of tilt her head to the side and sort of stroke her beard before gesturing. I can get you guys to talk to the elders. You can ask them any questions, and then maybe we can help you get down there.
We'd appreciate that.
As long as we get to go back up.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll make sure of it if get my tree back. Or you can come along with so we can not risk it. I still don't know. I'm gonna actually get it back.
It's a problem for future us.
We'll figure it out, but at the very least, we can bring it back up with us to Vanaheim.
Yeah, that.
Vanaheim's got a sky too.
The sky sounds cool.
It is, and space is cool too. Just gonna continue with that conversation as they go off.
So you will have the opportunity to be able to ask the elders of the town of Durber.
Duper.
Dinga dinga durgan.
How to get to Helheim. And with the role that you did to get Urbana and Dog to trust you, makes it relatively easy for the elders to kind of trust you. The Smeltfoots are pretty decent forgers, and so as a result, they are pretty well respected, even if Dog may or may not have blown up portions of the city through some wacky invention, similar to like Doc Brown kind of situation.
This guy's perfect to build the theme park.
Yeah.
You're
Oh
right,
my God,
actually.
he's the contractor, yeah. Also, Jesse Dog Brown, please.
Dog Brown?
Instead of Doc Brown, it's Dog Brown.
Oh, that's funny. Good.
Marty!
But yeah, we could totally help him get him to build the amusement park
Yeah.
if
Yeah, we'll take
we
you
get
with
it
us.
back.
The
But,
biggest thing
yeah.
that you can get at, and mechanically, I can tell you what mechanically the twins do. But essentially, the biggest thing that you can get out of them is that Dog is the creator, or Bella is the fixer,
So if we break her shit.
or Bella's the fixer.
It's almost like they're two halves of a
I wonder
whole.
if they can remove a curse off an item.
They can craft relics with a 10 dice pool and 3 enhancements, depending on whether or not you're asking them to create or fix. Just to kind of give you a result. Now, if they become your followers or guides, that's essentially what they would do. If you do it without them being, attached to you in any shape or form, in the form of like a birthright or something like that, then you usually have to get something for them in order to be able to do it. Usually that means materials. But that's kind of what they will represent if you manage to get them out.
We just take them to a Home Depot.
Take them to Lowe's.
But that's the kind of like feeling that you get from both of them. Orbella is the straight-laced, Dog is the more eccentric one. And if you explore their shop, you'll see most of it is kind of more analog in nature, not necessarily digital. Computers are not exactly a thing down here. So a lot of their stuff is powered through old-fashioned magics, steam, and good old hard work.
Molten core.
Hard work kind of shit, right?
At least they figured out indoor plumbing.
Yeah. There's the hole in the ground, and since the darkness will mask it, you won't see it. It's fine.
Except for me.
Jay's walking through the street, watching everybody shit into the sewer.
He's like, can I use my good listener to basically get the information that we need from the elders?
Well, I was going to say that they basically can facilitate that for you. In a sense that you've made them trust you, and the city trusts the Smeltfoots despite their eccentricities.
So we get a small reputation reputation boost
Yeah,
when talking
right.
to NPCs, such as the merchant.
Yes. So, in order to be able to
Because
get...
we don't have money.
No, you don't. Money is not a thing that you have. Even if you did, your money does not work here.
Does not work. No.
Yeah. So
We don't take Imperial credits.
players. So you, in order to get to Helheim, you have to go to Niflheim, which is the realm of ice.
Cool. Literally, cool.
There is no other way except through Niflheim. It is perilous and a cold journey. With the tank, which, by the way, they call Gulenbursty. Gulenbursty. And it has a giant like boar, like crudely drawn on it.
Oh, I thought you meant like a drill on the
No,
front.
like a boar,
So-
as in like
Okay.
the actual pig. It has a
Yes.
boar drawn on it, and it's running so fast that there's
So we
fire.
have pigs down here, right?
Oh yeah.
Apparently.
Fire pigs.
It has fire that comes right out of it,
Love
like
it.
out of the back of its.
Roasted pork.
Yeah. Anyway, that's why
Delicious.
it's kind of cool. It's called Gulenbursty because that means golden boar.
Nice.
Anyway,
You have
so
to build a golden corral for it.
with the tank,
Damn it,
theoretically,
Michael.
with the tank and the compass, theoretically, they say it might be about 9 days through the winter wilderness.
Johnny will ask if the kids would be okay with that. Bar would ask mechanically, are the kids okay
Yes,
with
they're
that?
dead.
Okay, you're right.
They're dead. This is
As long as
more-
you don't lose any more custody, then
that's
I'm
theoretically.
gonna lose my kids due to
She took your
children's
fucking kids.
services.
Theoretically, what you can imagine is happening is that because of the fact that Vanaheim is being slowly but surely taken back, or sorry, Neverland is being taken back by Vanaheim, that your ability to hold the children in this space is kind of being limited. And they may just
Strange.
drift right back into, like, the mountain. Or they might just end up going back to the mountain where they would theoretically have gone to begin with.
Like within 7 to 9 days.
I mean, it's a ticking clock, but that's what you're seeing, is that essentially that time is.
So I'm gonna tell my kids to like not just to fucking wait, and then I'll pick them up after.
Yeah.
Let's not bring the kids to the underworld just in case they get stuck.
That is also another point, is that they are spirits and you are going to an underworld. So
Well, they don't belong in hell.
no, but that doesn't mean they can't get stuck there. Just like there's nothing that says that you guys can't get stuck in hell either.
Actually, Hudson would get stuck. Oh no.
Hudson did die of illness.
He did die of illness.
Leave them with the dwarves. Leave them with the dwarves.
They can learn so much from the dwarves.
About 9 days through the
Can't
winter
fucking
wilderness, there is rumors of restless spirits fighting in the cold barren wastes, and
Fucking sick.
and there is definitely some perilous crossings of a frozen river made of weapons.
What?
Cool.
It's
Give
a
fucking
battleground.
break. We're fine.
Made of weapons or full of weapons?
How are we gonna
'Cause
do
that's
this all
very
with one
different
more
thing.
episode?
Huh?
How are we gonna do this all with one more episode?
It's gonna be fucking awesome.
There are
It's called a montage.
There are rumors of restless spirits fighting in the cold barren waste, and that the gates of hell are locked to those who are living. So you have to find a way to sneak your way through.
I'll just kill myself. It's
That is an option.
If you murder yourself, does that count as dying in battle?
If you die in battle, you go to Valhalla. So I mean,
Exactly. So Johnny would be fucked. He'd wake up in heaven and go, "Oh, dang it."
God dang it.
I don't even like drinking.
So you have to find a way theoretically through the gates of
Well,
hell
I
because they
guess
are
I'll
locked to you.
I guess I'll sit my kids down and tell them to wait. And if they go up to the nice funny little mountain, to wait for him once he gets the tree
And
back.
they'll be like the dogs from Futurama, and they'll just be waiting there for forever.
Shut your
Shut
goddamn
up!
mouth! How dare you fucking bring that up in my presence?
So Jesse, Johnny's gonna have that very hard talk with the kids.
Do you want to play that out, or do you just want to say you have the talk?
Consider we only have an hour left, and we still have to go across, like.
We're not gonna make it like to hell. We might make it partway there, but we're not gonna actually make it necessarily.
I know.
to hell.
I know. I'm saying
Okay.
so we can get it all nice later.
Right.
Okay.
We could say it happened. There was crying on all ends.
And Johnny's bummed the fuck out.
Yes.
Johnny's been bummed the fuck out this entire time.
No, he's been stressed.
In addition to, you can get rations and warm clothing to last, but it's not going to be pleasant. Theoretically, outside of the tank, you will be experiencing adverse reactions to the cold that is in Niflheim, except if you have innate purviews that allow you to be...
Except if you're fucking boring.
if you have things like fire or frost purviews, which allow you to basically negate temperature issues, you will be relatively okay. It's still not going to be...
Does snow consider temperature of water because it's frozen water?
What is the innate purview that water says?
You are also immune from harm from the pressure or temperature of water.
What does frost say? I guess that would be the question. Because frost is a purview as well. So if frost says specifically you do not experience adverse reactions from...
I think it means that Jay can't burn himself making tea.
Yeah, so frost says you never suffer from harm from extreme cold, nor difficult terrain or complications due to snow, hail, or ice.
See, I was just asking because snow is just frozen
Sorry.
water.
No, Julian, no.
Not in Niflheim, it isn't.
No, Julian, it's different.
Cool.
In Niflheim, it's crystallized tears and dreams.
It is definitely it's definitely different. If
Alright, well, Jay's gonna be really cold then.
Cold snake.
Yeah, we need to get him a fucking heat lamp.
You know,
so he can bask.
I'll just turn on my whip
Jay's gonna
and
be
then
really
just like
fucking cold.
give it to someone to hold on
but
to.
yeah, if you are outside of the tank, you will
Yes.
experience essentially adverse reaction to the extreme cold of Niflheim.
Mhm.
The tank is warm and cozy. That's what Dog said. Okay.
Until it breaks down.
He says it is the fastest tank you'll ever see.
It's gonna go like 2 miles an hour.
I mean, tanks aren't that fast.
It's gonna fucking tread like literal ass. It's
The
'You'll-
9-day trip
You'd be
takes
faster
18.
walking, but
That happened to me on an RV trip in the snow. Where the
Gonna
RV broke
fucking
down
take
and
us
we were stuck on the
18
side of the
months.
road for 2 days.
I didn't know you went to the Trump rally. No, just kidding.
This was in the years before that. That's where my niece got done bit, by the way. Anyway,
in the cold by a snake.
she got
However,
frostbit by a copperhead.
is there any other things that you'd like to learn about?
I wanted to use my leader knack to see if I could find any relevant information if people know about, because they're all forge people.
Yes.
I want to know if there's anybody who has any information about this forgemaster in Helheim.
Sure.
Where'd this motherfucker come from? Where'd he get his stuff?
Who is-
Clearly, meta-wise, it's the freak show's actual other half.
they haven't been fucking dead that long.
Who knows?
So who is the forgemaster? Who is the puppet master? The forgemaster.
Master. Sorry.
Maybe you have one of like the elderly kind of dwarves, sort of speak out. Oh God, that is a weird name that they just generated for me.
Please say it.
No, I already skipped it.
Damn.
Dagrun.
Not
That's
my sister.
Hey, Dagrun means secret knowledge. That's fun. Okay, Dag.
Fucking dag
And-
over here.
And his brother Norb.
Dag. Norbert. It's Norbert for Two Angry Beavers.
Yeah.
Norbella.
Dagrun will she's like an older lady. Let's say her beard is like down to her feet. It's white, and she has and it's like braided to like just like 2 braids, and it's braided into the beard like that. Very cute. It's very adorable. And she will say, "Ah, yes, the forgemaster. He comes from time to time, mostly because he keeps falling."
Falling from Yggdrasil?
Ah, no. It appears that he keeps getting sent down to hell from Asgard. They just kick him right off. There he goes, falling, falling, falling. We see him fall. And then he has
You
to...
see him fall, we point and laugh.
Wait, it's just this version of Sisyphus.
And-
He's just going right back.
And then he has to climb his way back up, but it seems every time he goes up there, he ends up getting kicked back out. He must not be making many friends in Asgard.
Well, we heard that this person is making a bunch of automatons?
He made a bunch of automatons.
Yeah, do you know if they made them for Asgard or for other reasons?
Oh, I don't know. He doesn't really like to talk about his forged creations. Or talks about how he needs to get back up there. All the time. Climb, 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 climb.
I think Jay will kind of, if anyone else is with Jay talking with this with Dag, he'll kind of like look over to them and probably go like, "It sounds to me like this god is having a hard time with their pantheon."
Is he a god? I thought he was a Scion.
I thought they said god last session.
Yeah, they did say god last time. He is a new god. He's a new forgemaster. So he is...
Oh, I see. That's right.
He is essentially a... as far as the Asgard... As far as the Aesir are concerned, a newly minted god.
Oh, they're just hazing him.
It's either that or they're gonna hang him by his toe upside down for 1,000 years.
Gosh.
I find it hard to believe that someone can ascend to a pantheon that they have such bad blood with.
Or that they...
Do you know how long this person's been a god, relatively speaking?
Oh, I guess from our perspective, it's been... Considering that it takes about 9 years to get from down there to up there, this is about... He's fallen 4 times. 4 and some change.
And they're still a god and they haven't become a titan?
I suppose they'd get pretty mad, but maybe they don't want to be.
Sounds like Stockholm Syndrome to me.
Lee Bao will sort of huff and say, well, just because they're in bad blood with something doesn't mean they can't stay God. They're just a punk.
Bootlicker.
Or maybe they're trapped.
If they're God, they don't have to be part of a pantheon.
Well, if they keep getting... Like, when you say that he goes down from the Asgard to hell, is this like a literal thing, or is this like a dying thing, or is this like...
Well, considering that gods are neither living nor dying, they can't exactly die to go to hell. He just gets casted down.
Maybe they're, like you said, Li Bao, unaffiliated, but trying to join, trying to prove themselves or something.
Well, last time the forgemaster came up, he was... he doesn't like to talk to us, usually because he's too focused on trying to get back up. He keeps talking about his greatest creation and how they're keeping it from him. Doesn't make much sense considering that he created automatons to kill Titan spawn pet.
Huh. Jay will kind of look kind of contemplative at that. Well, thank you for the information. Maybe this is a person we can try to talk to.
Figure out why they're so keen on killing Titan spawn.
Or if that's even what they want to do. It seems like whoever this person is, they want whatever they forged back.
Li Bao will sort of furrow his brow and sort of add in, if he's a god, wouldn't we already know who he is? Even a newly minted one would be famous enough.
I mean, I don't know, storyteller. Can we make some fucking, like, occult checks?
I don't know. That was the voice of God saying you could.
Well, I was thinking about it this entire time, but I didn't want it. There was a nice scene going on. I didn't want to, like...
You can interrupt at any point in time, even if there is a good scene.
No, it was nice. I was
while this
enjoying
is happening, we're having an emotional moment with the kids.
Secret tunnel.
Occult.
Occult.
Yeah.
That many. 2.
2.
Oh god, hold on.
What did you roll, Julian?
I'm gonna roll my intellect and my occult. Can I use Bun for anything?
You can contact...
Can I contact
Bun,
Bun through the ether?
who will give you a level of bonuses, enhancement
You can text
bonus.
Bun.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it, I call my grandpa
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean,
on
you
my
can...
Motorola.
As long as it's for the role that they're an asset skill for.
Okay. So
How do you contact them?
do they add additional dice?
Do we have 5G in
It is-
underground and in another realm?
How you contact them is sort of like squiffy in nature, but like I'm allowing it because it's mental.
Yes, I'd like to use one of my lifelines.
Theoretical.
I'd like
I'd
to,
like to contact
phone a
my-
friend.
My
So
chow
yeah,
chow.
is it bonus dice or just enhancements?
Enhancements.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess
got
it
3
depends on
then.
what the asset skill thing says.
He or what's it? Oh well, I mean, my grandpa is specifically for occult. I know that much.
Bun specifically for occult and culture.
I mean, meta-wise, I think I figured it out, and I'm fucking pissed.
I think I still at her only being at 2 dots. I think I only still get +1 enhancement.
Yeah, because the second dot gives you an extra skill.
Yes, and then at 3 dots, then it gives you more enhancements. So that gives me 3 successes as well.
We all got 3,
3.
except for Johnny, who's being sad.
You will contact through the Etherverse in your own specific ways. Again, because you all have your own special connections with your guides. However, they
I have a
may
galaxy
be.
note.
Oh yeah, can cross galaxies. Sort of like how you can get nutty however you want, right? Theoretically, through just a little knock. Similarly, Jay can reach Bun through mental connections, and probably in a similar way, Grandpa. When you think about Grandpa, you think about a story that he tells you, and that's just you recalling that information. Like we can write it however we want. Like you can imagine it as like for Kiva is sitting on Grandpa's lap, and he's telling you a story, an occult story that is essentially the information that you're receiving right now or recalling. Whereas Bun, you have connected to Bun in a cosmic level. You can literally contact. Again, nutty can just be a knock on the door. But I'm hungry. Use this app. Hey, apps remind me of that one thing that I wanted to tell you about. It's. I'll tell it as Grandpa though, because I think Grandpa would be a funnier kind of way to explain it. He. It has the header of the email says forward.
Oh no.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
and it's like a chain email about a whole bunch of things, you know, like spam email, some sort of like scam, and then Grandpa writes, you know, this reminds me of this one time.
And then he copies a bunch of text from a different format, so like the font's a different size.
It's definitely in Comic Sans. Anyway, sorry, that was like I went deep. I went deep for a second there, like deep AOL mail. You know, like they had like different ways that you could make rainbow text like appear on your aim like automatically. Very deep. Went very deep into the rabbit hole there. Let's go with Kiva. So Kiva, you remember one time when you were sitting on Grandpappy's lap as a little girl, maybe not even entirely paying attention as he's combing your hair. And he's telling you a story about how gods do live among us. And he talks about this story of this man who in the 80s ascended. The 80s, 70s kind of ascended. He came about during the tech boom. Sort of like at the same time as we're talking like Steve Jobs.
I was gonna say it's Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs and shit like that. Like, again, you can argue that Steve Jobs in the Scion universe was given divine inspiration to do the things that he has done. Same thing with
That's how he ripped off so many people.
but yeah, like
God.
not necessarily a trickster god, but like a god could have come down and said, hey, do this thing, trust me, it'll work.
And that's why Bill Gates will never ascend to godhood.
You know?
That's also the reason why Julian can't play Sea of Thieves with us.
Cries.
So theoretically, there are many people who had found success through technology as forge gods and similar gods of like higher intelligence or, you know, creation, things of that nature. Those callings basically took advantage of man's creation to sort of ascend or help push more men or scions up. And this man came about during this initial tech boom, creating the technology that was essentially machines of war. And creating the technology behind the machines of war, he got fame, fortune, and essentially monopolized to a point where he had been able to advance countries so far that people came to him constantly, worshiping him with money and that desire to have more power. And essentially that is how this person ascended to godhood. And they called him the Wolf. That was his pen name. Or sort of like his secret name. The name that he essentially ascended with. That was his mantle. Another thing that is important in the mechanics is that you have mantles, and that is kind of the name that follows you along as you ascend towards godhood. So for him, he may have had a mortal name at one point, but when he became a god and he took on a mantle, it was Wolf.
The Wolf of Wall Street. Thank you all for laughing. Thank you.
I was trying to remember Wozniak. I wanted to say the Wolf of Wozniak.
But and he said that once, and it was, and he says a little funny story about this god or this Scion, that he died very suddenly. No one and through that death, he ascended, right? Theoretically. I mean, he was never seen from again. He could have very well just died.
Well, yeah, I mean, he went to hell.
And but he died because he met with a Titan. And through a fierce battle with this Titan, he passed.
Like how Andromeda goes, battle.
This is either Andromeda's backstory or everybody knows something that I have not been paying attention to.
Through this fierce battle, he passed. And so it is known that he had fought a Titan, but lost. Still, with the tech that he had created, it has essentially uplifted him to the point where he was able to go to Valhalla and become the forgemaster of new technologies, new weapons to fight against Asgardian enemies.
It sounds like this guy like bootleg ascended.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like it sounds like he. I mean, like yeah, he wasn't a Scion. It seems
He was.
He was. Okay.
It's assumed that he was a Scion because
he must have been at some
because
point.
of the level in which he became viral. And trust me, it's hard to be viral in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
So he had to have some sort of power. And anybody who seems to be exceptional, most people tend to say, oh, he has the power of blood of a god in them or something like that. So if anything, if he wasn't selected, he must have. And if he died, he must have, because we are still using his tech today.
Right.
You know,
so what it is it sounds like he got right on the cusp that like right as he died, he hit that 270th electoral vote and was able to kind of get into being a god.
Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, you're thinking, okay, if this is the same guy, like if this is the same person, that fits with this new tech that the Giants are concerned about, with a remote that is essentially new tech that can control these weapons of war that are for some reason repeatedly getting tossed from Asgard to hell, from Asgard to hell, from Asgard to hell. So clearly this guy is not in Asgard's favor. For some reason, he made the weapon, but now he's being...
I mean, it's not that hard to piss off gods, though. Like, let's be honest.
To be fair, yeah, that is true.
It's also not hard to get, like, a giant bump from a god. It just depends on which one you fucking talk to. Like, honestly, like, gods are so fickle.
Look at all of us.
Gods are fickle, and they can hate you for whatever fucking reason they want. Maybe somebody doesn't like the fact that he created new tech that can defend Asgard, and they're just trolling him.
By keeping the weapon in Helheim?
It's keeping the weapon from not being able to be used.
By keeping the automatons from being used.
Mm-hmm. And maybe they're just knocking him down. But that's one, that's what makes the most sense, probably.
I don't know, I think in like all of this, like between like the collaboration between Grandpa and Bun, I think like Jay would kind of point out that if he keeps getting thrown back down, then if he has the device to control these automatons, why doesn't he just use them?
Because that would be evil.
It depends on who you're using them against.
I guess so. Still, it's backstory to, or sort of something to support the information in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You can mull on it for a little bit longer, whereas Johnny, you're kind of finishing up your conversation with the group, who are essentially saying, that they'll stay here with the dwarfs. But you'll see Hudson will kind of tap you on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Look, I know that you want everybody to stay.
Yeah, I do, and no, you can't come, if that's what you're gonna say.
Respectfully, Chief? We're your friends.
But if the time runs out for you, you'll be stuck down there.
I think that's...
And I don't know if I can get you out.
Yeah, but if my help can bring Neverland back, I think it's worth it.
I can always get Neverland back another way. I don't want to lose you. Or really any of you.
Johnny, what's the point of Neverland?
You know, it's not about me. It's about making you guys happy. And just keeping you in such a horrible place and me not knowing if I can get you out, it's not gonna work.
Isla will sort of be there as well and say, it's not just about being happy. It's about helping us move on. Some of us want to go.
I won't take you all. Especially you two.
You can't do
I've
this.
been around you the most.
Johnny, you can't do this without your star quarterback.
Yeah, well, if you get stuck down there.
And you can't do this without your spy master.
Come on, guys. What help can you be if you can't actually touch anything?
You don't know that.
Do you?
No.
You'll just be walking to a place where you'll get stuck, and I don't know if I'm gonna actually get Neverland back.
Well, why are you trying to make it harder for you to get Neverland back if you don't have us with you?
Because I'm trying to protect you. And you guys are the only people that I've really known ever since I can remember, apparently.
Hudson will sort of reach out and touch your shoulder, which he can. You two are like your followers are connected to you. But Hudson will put his hand on your shoulder. Johnny, you've given me 3 good years. 3 fun years.
Why do I look at the main shit Michael types?
You've given me 3 good years. If it's my time to move on, then it's my time to move on. But I want to do whatever I can to help you. And if I get left behind, but we bring Neverland back, it's worth it.
He'll kind of start to fiddle with his hands, not really knowing what to do with himself at this point.
It'd be selfish otherwise.
it'd be safer.
Johnny, you're here to make sure that we move on, right? You're not here to keep us. Eventually, we're all gonna go sometime.
I know, and I didn't think it'd be so soon, if any.
Hudson's like, okay, don't put me in the ground yet.
You're the one who wants to.
I'm just saying, if I have to break my ankle in the third quarter to score a touchdown, then I will. But if we have a better plan than that, then...
I'm not gonna take all of you then.
But I'm going. So am I.
The other kids would need someone to look after them.
There are older kids. But you need your best.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Whatever happens, happens. But we want to defend our special place.
Okay. But if anything goes wrong, I will try my hardest to give you the option to come back with me.
And they'll nod and sort of go back to essentially find your loyal 5 to 10.
By the way, 5 to 10 older kids.
Yeah. To essentially go with you guys on this trip. And they're spectral, so it's not like they're going to they're not going to take space in the tank.
If it's too crowded, Johnny can just sit on the cab. He'll be fine.
You won't be affected by the cold. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
But yeah. I don't know if you guys want to discuss more about your ideas about the forgemaster while this other conversation is happening.
I mean, I pretty much said all of my thoughts on that, if anybody else has anything.
And we will have time to discuss it more as we venture forward into Helheim, because a 9-day trip is a long trip. And it is a perilous journey in regards to the fact that you are going through Niflheim. And there's a lot of stuff and obstacles along the way. Luckily, you have recruited the Smeltfoot twins, who are providing you with your golden boar of a tank, which is fueled by Feyfire. So it's nice and cozy in there.
Nice.
So it's very nice and cozy. So like, just because you can withstand extreme temperatures doesn't mean that it's pleasant. You know, it's still not fun.
I'm just saying, if the scope of the tank is limited, I can always pop up.
It is a bit small, all things considered, because it was built by dwarfs. So there are parts of it that are sort of like at dwarf level.
Exactly, when there's so many people crammed into one spot.
But there is enough room, and with your rations, your clothing, and the like, you are able to essentially begin your trek, assuming that we're ready for that, right?
Mm-hmm. Do we see a potion seller?
There are no potions. Like, I mean, like, they're not really potions in a traditional sense in Scion. You can get rations, so food, things of that.
We're gonna go into battle eventually.
and you need potions.
Yeah.
Potion seller. Anyway, the tank itself is quite cool. Like, yes, it does have treads, but these treads are kind of apparently pretty sticky enough that it can actually descend the one rooted tree that is taking you down from Nivelir down to Jotunheim, which there is a very specific choice being made to avoid the realm of giants, because most of them fuckers are made of fire. It's essentially like it's like Lava Town. Like, it's basically a lava town.
I'm sorry, do you mean Flavor Town?
And then you descend down into Niflheim.
Well, alright, I'll be quiet.
The
then.
canals are filled with molten nacho cheese.
It's the worst.
Perfect. I could swim in that. It'll be fine.
Don't, please, Johnny. Everybody's concerned. The climb is slow, but you imagine that's because of the fact that you're descending and you're in a tank, and somehow it's just making it, like making its way down. Dog is fucking excited because it is moving, which apparently might have been up in the air as far as whether or not that was a possibility. I mean, just that's the sense that you get, because he's nudging at
This is what happens when we ask for things from Fiddleford.
He's
Here's
not
McGucket.
he's nudging at Orbella, essentially saying, like, you see, I told you it was gonna work. Which, all of you sort of have a wait a minute moment before you essentially land in what would be the landing of Niflheim, the next realm that you need to go through. From your perspective, it is not that hot, not that cold. In fact, it's nice and toasty inside of the tank. Though if you test the waters at any point in time and lift the hatch up, a bone-piercing chill will come into the space and almost even threaten to knock out the fire that is in the tank itself. So be very careful. And then Dog, excited, will sort of scream, now let's see this puppy work, and he'll push the fucking throttle all the way forward.
And it breaks down.
And you expect maybe there is going to be an increase in speed, but in fact, it is going at a similar pace.
Hell yes.
It's
I knew I should have sprung for the turbo.
It is time, or at this point, we're going to close it out.
God.
Okay.
You just
Time
hear,
to
you
shift
just hear
into
small-
maximum overdrive.
You just hear a small explosion in the back.
All pistons are firing right now, and it is
We're firing.
It's
That's
moving.
just about it.
It is moving, just not as the emblazoned boar with the fire coming out of its feet as it's running so fast. That is a poor representation of what this thing can do.
Damn, too bad I don't have any journey spirits on me.
But we will stop now. We have reached it. The highway to hell.
Yeah.
Which is just a big icy tundra. With one compass leading you the way. Nothing bad will happen, I promise you. This is a regular Journey's adventure. It's fine. It's cool.
It's cool, like the frozen tundra.
Do you guys not believe me?
Got a lot to cover in one episode. That's all I gotta
I'm just
say.
I'm waiting for ice worms. Something horrible to burst up. From the
Julian, that's
tundra.
meta.
I know.
And we'll figure it out. It'll get figured out. I'm just being conscious of everybody's time because I know we're at the 3-hour mark.
Mm-hmm.
So relax. It'll happen. The story will get told, and we'll find out if Leaf will find her other half, and if Johnny can get the remote to promise to bring back Neverland. The Promise of Neverland. Isn't that something? Is that a movie?
The Promised Neverland is like an anime.
Is it?
Finding Neverland.
Finding Neverland is a movie / musical. The Promised Neverland is some anime bullshit.
Well, isn't Promised Neverland like a horror anime?
Is it?
I don't know.
We should park the
I
tree.
think a lot of kids actually die in that one.
Well, how about when we get it back, you just
Park that tree right in the
forever
little garage.
at Wiley's compound, and we can make that Neverland Ranch.
And we're gonna send all the kids to the ranch like Dr. Phil.
I want you to park that big tree right in this little garage.
Was that your attempt at a yeehaw accent?
No, I'm quoting the WAP song. Terribly. But
What can you repeat the quote? I didn't catch it.
well, the quote is, "I want
Hey,
you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage." But I was like, "I want you to." Park
Hey, it's
that
also
big
not
Mac
called
truck right in this
WAP.
little
It's
garage."
it's not called WAP.
It's called wet ass p word. Thank you very much.
Wet ass P word.
But
I was
yes.
keeping it to Twitch, man.
So there you go. We're done, and we're going to do a
What are we doing?
a goodbye thing. That thing where we sign off and we say who we are, who we played, and other stuff like your favorite part or where we can find you. And let's start with let's go with Andromeda.
Oh shit, my mic was muted. Hello. I am Andromeda. Jeez Louise, I just updated my Twitter with my new schedule, and I gotta think about it still. But you can find me on Twitter at SCGIROL, where you can keep track of everything I am going to list, because it's long. It's so fucking long. What's tomorrow? Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can find me Saturdays at 2 p.m. EST over on Marina
No.
Munchies.
Yeah.
It's Munchies. On Smunchy Games' Twitch channel with Julian playing a Parslings campaign. I'm nervous. Shane was talking about it the other day. I'm nervous. That's what I'm gonna say about that. You can find me Tuesdays on Marine of One's Twitch channel playing a new Paths campaign called Silent Whispers. That's all I have to say about that. You can find me Thursdays over on Guild of the Phoenix, also at 8 p.m. EST, playing another Parslings campaign where I play a very, very, very depressed person who just wants to punch something at this point. They've taped their knuckles and everything. They're fucking ready. It's a short-term goal. They're gonna punch something. And then you can find me here every Friday, because I'm guessing